for the delay in transmission. We hope that you forgive us. Yes, my name is Yaira Awuno, as always. Welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. We are live on GoTV channel 184 as well, and we are also on Facebook and YouTube, so you can join us via the live stream there. Just search for Clock TV and join the live stream and send your comments and your shout outs to our live stream, and we will get them here and also read them. Our WhatsApp number will also be displayed onto your screen, so you can also text us, get a more personal feeling of the conversation. Now, today the conversation is very, very important, especially with regards to Pink October, as it is a conversation about breast cancer, especially in both genders, both male and female. When we hear about breast cancer, we're always thinking about the women. But then also men have breasts, and they also could be, victims of breast cancer as well, or become cancer patients. And breast cancer is not limited to one gender. So today we're going to be learning more on that. We're going to be breaking the silence, getting men, informed, and men who have also had to go through the struggles of having breast cancer share their experiences and stories as well. Business and sports will be bringing us news as always, and this topic is for the lifestyle segment, so it's going to be an extended version. Our online and print review is also going to be extended, so definitely the phone lines will be open so you can share and weigh in on the conversations here. Now let's prepare to be motivated as the weekend is approaching. Today's motivational quote is by a renowned philosopher, Socrates, and he says, "The unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life is not worth living." And this is by Socrates, a Greek philosopher that most of us, were plagued by in school, learning about his philosophies and, shaping our lives, as it has influenced us a lot. And this quote is trying to tell us that to live life without reflection is to move through life blindly. Socrates reminds us that the meaning does not come from simply existing, but from understanding. Now, understanding our choices, our values, and the reasons behind what we do. When we pause to reflect, we gain insight into ourselves and the world around us. We begin to see patterns in our behavior. We learn from our mistakes and grow into wiser, more intentional people. Without self-examination, we risk living on autopilot, chasing goals that do not fulfill us, or repeating cycles that harm us and those around us. But through reflection, we cultivate self-awareness, purpose, and authenticity, the very qualities that make life rich and truly worth living. Yes, so we cannot live without doing some introspection and retrospection. Sometimes you need to go back into yourself, check with yourself. Some of the things that we do, some of the things that we say are usually responses to something happening deep within us in our subconscious. Sometimes we take certain actions and we may not see, the effect of whatever we've said or done. But sometimes when you go back in retrospect, you look back at whatever you said, whatever you did, you may realize that whatever you did to the other person or whatever the situation is, you could have done it in a better way. And it helps us to grow. It helps us to also learn the bad habits that we may have and learn to even try to, prune ourselves, shape our lives in a better way. This is definitely something to think about for the upcoming weekend, as the month is also ending. We're entering into a new month. And some of us, every new month, we have a new resolution. So, of course, when the new month begins, the new month of November, as it's coming, we may want to try to check our lives, go back into ourselves and try to go into seeing whether some of the things that we've done are because of whatever the reason is, how it's affecting others, and then what to do and the way forward so that our lives can be more meaningful and richer. Now, it's also time for the weather forecast, and the weather forecast is brought to us by the Ghana Meteorological Agency. And a quick summary, something small here that is from the Ghana Meteorological Agency says that cases of mist and foggy patches are expected over some coastal and inland areas amidst partly cloudy conditions. Places within the coastline are also expected to have some rainfall activity as the day progresses. Periods of sunshine and cloudiness will alternate over the southern belt of Ghana, with chances of rainfall affecting places within the coastal, middle, and transition belts from late afternoon into the evening hours. Northern Ghana will mostly be sunny during the afternoon hours, with some cloud developments later in the evening. Now, this is the weather forecast for today, the 30th of October, 2025. As I always say, especially in this season, you never know when it will rain. So keep an umbrella handy, keep a raincoat handy, and if you have a car, extend some grace to somebody, a pedestrian, and give them a lift somewhere, a vantage point. And let's also try to stay safe. Up next is our online and print review with my co-host here with me. The conversations are going to be packed. So do send in your comments to our WhatsApp number or to the live stream. And when the phone lines are opened, we will alert you so you can call and join in the conversation. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for our online and print review. I have my co-hosts here with me in the persons of Mr. Clement Yabankoy and Miss Miriam Abnadidi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yes, how are we doing?
I'm feeling excited. It's been a very long time since I had Clement here.
Yeah. You and your TV husband. Yes, it's good to see you both here. And I'm sure today's conversation on the online print review will be great. How has the week been? It's been a pretty packed week for us.
I know, right?
Yes. So let's start from there. How is it going? What are the things you want to pinpoint?
So this week has been an exciting one for all of us. We've been going up and down with our duties.
So my producer wants to hear Clement first, since he's the gentleman. We are not doing ladies first today.
So I think I'm so excited. On the point that I'm in between are two amazing, beautiful women, and I'm so excited. So Mimi started the game, and I would say that the weekend has been fruitful. Maybe what you're expecting didn't come to pass. That doesn't mean that God has not actually worked for you. So I would say that has been very fruitful, and personally, I'm so grateful. And I know the whole of Clock TV, we are grateful. Clock Sag is grateful.
Clement,
And on that note,
I want to ask you something before we even get into our trends.
okay.
We'll be discussing breast cancer today. And I want to have your take on, do you think men, get breast cancer? Like,
Of course. You see, and let's talk about this issue. Once we're dealing with, always it's women, if not breast cancer, then it's another cancer. I think October should be about the breast and prostate.
yeah.
Once we are talking about breast for the woman, let's talk about prostate for the men.
Men, yeah.
But here's the case. The breast too, the men are inside. It's prostate that the women are inside.
I get it. But you see,
I think we have prostate cancer awareness month though. I'd have to
the
check.
month is not there. So let's
have a month for
We don't
that.
have a month for prostate cancer.
So let's merge the two in October and do it. Moving forward, I think it's...
What you're saying is true, because from what we've
You
learned...
see, today I'm in blue black. You are in pink.
Pink.
You have a touch. So
Family
this
of
is a color of prostate, blue, and this is a color
you
of
came prepared.
pink. So actually, yes, I came prepared.
prepared.
I came prepared.
I remember one of the things I learned in this month and, previously about the breast cancer awareness, that if the women in your family seem to have a history of breast cancer, then the men are likely to be a little more prone to prostate cancer. So yeah, I think what you're saying is in the right, direction. I hope that, Even we ourselves can just decide, because sometimes we have we have National Chocolate Day. We don't need anybody to.
Day, National Girlfriend's Day. So that was just by the way.
Sure,
let's move into what's happening. We know our viewers really want to understand what happened here, at CLOSAC. And yesterday we had the 8th Nathan Annan Kwao Excellence Lecture and Award Ceremony. It's the 8th edition, and it is an event that is set aside to honor the late Nathan Annan Kwao, who was a gallant member of CLOSAC and also a very instrumental individual in the fight for the rights of civil servants here in Ghana, and also an opportunity to acknowledge the good people, the good civil servants working effortlessly.
Civil service staff.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Civil
you remember
service.
Civil Service Week?
Yeah, I was
they told
corrected.
us.
Doing so well to help the civil service grow. And that was what we witnessed. Yesterday, we saw the likes of the head of the Ghana Civil Service, your very own man, Dr. Agrida Kon. We also saw the Executive Secretary of CLOSAC, Dr. Isaac Bampoado. We also had the Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oye Bampoado, also passing through. And also the key speaker, a very significant man. He gave a lecture. He's in the person of Dr. Daniel Appiah. And he made mention of the fact that it is high time we called for stronger civil service training and effective implementations of constitutional reforms to enhance governance and national development. And I felt this call, came at the back of the recent political interferences we've been witnessing in the appointments of chief executive officers, chief directors, happening in Ghana. And CLOSAC has, consistently been talking about it. They've been against it. And I was happy that we had that ceremony yesterday. Now, the theme for the event, a very lengthy one, a mouthful. Constitutionalism of the president's appointments of chief executive officers in the public service, with reflections on the Presidential Transition Act, 2012, Act 845. And that was the theme. After the event, we had an opportunity to interact with some people, asking them if they really, really understood the theme and whatever that happened. And we were like, yeah, since it's CLOSAC, it's an event for CLOSAC and civil service, persons, we will come through, or staff will come through and support. But we spoke to the organizer of the event, one of the organizers, Nanaya Wasare, and he also made mention of the fact that the theme was selected carefully to reflect and recognize the key people or the stakeholders involved in the planning and everything for civil, I don't want to say civil servants. Civil service staff and everything. I think we have a video of the key speakers speaking.
So for those who missed, let's take a look at what happened yesterday, so you get an idea of the kind of interesting and very significant conversations that went on yesterday.
We embrace multi-party democracy. We need to pay attention to the deep core values of democratic governance. Democracy emerged long before multi-party emerged. Democracy in Athens and Greece was there before political parties came. And the principles have not changed. The principles of equal rights of citizens to well-being, the principle of equal treatment of citizens, the principle of meritocratic recruitment into public service. So if we are really serious in building a democracy that works, I believe that just as other countries have tried to structure their public service system in such a way that they are mindful of how the emergence of multi-party democracy affected them, we can also be very mindful and structure a system of public service that will become very competent. And I'm glad that currently we have a Constitutional Review Commission or committee that is doing the work. But we hope that we will have appropriate rules. But once again, the rules will not be enough. If we do not implement the recommendation of our forefathers that we need a vibrant, more capable and strong civil service training school that will train civil servants, that will build their capacity.
Yes, so that was the illustrious Dr. Daniel Appiah, and that was a bit of his speech. You can find the video on Facebook or on YouTube and, get to learn more about it. So, Miriam, back to what you were saying.
So I was saying that we had the opportunity of speaking to one of the organizers, and that was Nanaya Wasari, and he explained that the theme was carefully selected to reflect the current state of Ghana's public service and stimulate meaningful dialogue on reforms and efficiency. And that was what we saw. Yesterday was a lecture room. I mean, a full lecture.
Bringing back memories.
But yeah, before Clement comes in, I would also like to say that we're privileged to also have the Deputy Chief of Staff there to also, in a way, debunk the perceptions that we have. And she was saying that, the presidency or the office of the president decisions comply fully with the constitution and relevant laws in the appointments of chief executive officers and chief directors. They are not done in isolation. They are not politically, influenced as people think. And so she, defended the office of the president yesterday.
Right. So, Clement.
Yesterday was a very wonderful day for the country, which was championed by Clocksack. And I will say that it's a very wonderful initiative that Clocksack has bet out this kind of lecture because it makes us understand the systems of governance. It makes us understand how things are supposed to be done as a country. During yesterday's presentation, as Mimi said, aside Dr. Daniel speaking, we had the lives of the former head of service, Dr. That's Nana.
Yeah, something Koko.
Yes, Nana Jamina.
And we even had
he mentioned
also around.
He mentioned three key things. Mimi, the first thing he talked about is the fact of tenure of office of a president. He cites to the fact that some countries have a political party reigning for 25 years, 20 years.
Wow.
That has been the vision. And what happens is that is the prime minister that has been changing.
Oh, okay.
So that was another thing he really mentioned. And I think that it is something that as a country we need to pay attention to. We are now in a point where there is constitutional review going on.
Yeah.
So this is the time that things need to be championed. We've practiced this 4 years term of office for president from 1992 till date. The question is, have we gotten the necessary results?
No.
It has been 33 good years now. Are we on the right path? If you are not on the right path, what are we supposed to do? Let us rewrite the wrong immediately. We shouldn't wait for another generation to come so that generation will now come and say that some years ago, our forefathers were supposed to take this decision. They didn't take it. And it has now affected us. When listening to Dr. Daniel Appiah, what we just played, he said that we should go back and implement what our forefathers introduced.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that we all need to look at.
But Clement, I don't know, but it's very concerning looking at the fact that 25 years should be considered given to one, governance. I mean, 25 years, serving the country for 25 years as a president. Assuming that person is not meeting, our requirements as people. We've witnessed some governance that didn't really go well, and people were eager. People couldn't wait to the end of the 8th year, and then we take them. So if it's 25 years, Clement,
okay.
We are doomed.
So what Nana Jamna was trying to say is that there is a vision. And whenever there is a vision, it takes somebody to lead that vision. In the country we find ourselves, since 1992, assuming the first presidency in 1992 was Jerry John Rawlings, he had his own vision.
Yeah.
The question is, was he able to implement his vision in the 8 years tenure that was given to him? John Ajekum Kufuor came with his own vision.
Yeah.
And when he comes with his own vision, Yaira, assuming if I started my vision and you come with your own vision, my vision is being neglected. We push it aside. That is when we have issue where a government comes start a developmental project and another government comes, it doesn't continue.
Yeah.
That is the basis.
You see, for the project, it is more of a political thing than, the vision thing. Because let's put it this way, Agenda 111, hospitals. The next government in power currently is aware that these hospitals are, important, what did we used to call them in school? Infrastructure and social amenities and whatnot. They are aware of the fact that these are things that will meet our healthcare needs.
Yeah.
So if we rely on the fact that maybe Akufo-Addo's former President Akufo-Addo's vision is different from President Mahama's vision, when it comes to the infrastructural development, it shouldn't be any different, you see. So it's more of a political thing because we live in a country where if, let's say, President Mahama completes this Agenda 111 project, Ghanaians will still say,
it was
Mahama finished it, but it was Akufo-Addo's. And then it's kind of dents their egos and, it creates those things because, let's be honest too, these are human beings. But then also, the attention is given to the fact that their names are attached to these things. So it's not a vision problem, it's more of a political and ego problem.
From what I said, it's a vision problem. What influenced politics? What influenced policy? It's a vision. It's my vision. My vision introduced my policy. And the policy influenced the politics I play around it.
Exactly.
So if I have a vision, for example, like Agenda 111, or let me use the common one, free SHS. It was a vision from the president, Nana Akufo-Addo.
And it's been continued.
And it's been continued. So that vision influenced his policies and everything that he's doing. Good enough, when he implemented this SHS, there was a lot of issues that was said about that. Why do you think he would implement it and issues like this will pop up? Because he knows that he has a short tenure of office, 8 years or 4 years. So if I don't implement this thing within this 4 years or 8 years, ultimately, Ghanaians will say that I came to fail. I didn't deliver my promises. But if he knows that this vision is not for the political party, it's not for the president, it is for the country as a whole. So assuming, let's talk about this current 24-hour economy. If this vision is a vision of the country, that is Ghana, let's say our plan is in the next 10 years, we want to see 24-hour economy being implemented as a vision for the country. Then the President Mahama would have enough time to lay a good foundation for the implementation of the 24-hour economy. But here's the case that he has just 4 years. We are in the 8th month, or let's say getting to the 9th month of his tenure of office. He needs to lay a good foundation for the 24-hour economy. That's the example I want to make. If it takes him about 2 years to lay a good foundation for the 24-hour economy, the question is he left with just 2 years. And then 2 years left, 1 year is going to be used for campaigning. The other year is just going to be another means. So at the end of the day, what happens? Ghanaian sees that he didn't deliver on his promise. That is why I think Nana Dramina was coming for. That let's have a bigger plan for the country. Let's look at it that it is not about party A, it's not about party B, but it's about what do Ghanaians want. And let's deliver based on that promises.
So in that case, it is not going to be a political vision or a political party's vision.
Exactly.
A national
plan.
Because there was a national plan for the nation. So if these visions you should make sure it's in accordance with the national plan. That's why I use the hospital thing, because these are amenities that we need. So you cannot come and say that, yes, a different administration started something, it's not in line with my vision, so I don't want to complete it. This is something that the Ghanaian people need.
And at the end of the day, it is our money you are going to use.
Exactly, taxpayers' money. Now, on the topic of the 25 years thing, I think that it shouldn't be 25 years. As you said, it will be too terrible for us. But it should rather be that after 7-8 years, you should be eligible to go again, maybe for one more full term, and then we leave it there. Because we know African leaders. There are African leaders who have made their presidency a family thing. So after them is their sons and things like that. So this is also a way to keep them in check. If you give them 25 years, it means that when you have a child, when the president is sworn into power, that child will be 25 years out of the university, probably doing national service, and that president is still there. And nobody would be able to actually question anything they've done. The democratic, procedures that we have here is to also keep you in check. You have 25 years to implement something. It will make them a little less on their game. It will not keep them on their toes like if, we have a fixed term. So I think that if as Koksak said, wanting to give them more, then let's just make them eligible for another full term. So in the end,
what happened to the 5 years we experienced?
Exactly. That's the point I was coming. And let's put this point clear. The nature of that statement was not like, let's give them 25 years. He was given an example.
It's just an example, but we are just
trying to get our minds around this and see.
Over the years, it was 5 years. Before 1992, we brought it to 4 years.
4 years.
The question is, why did we bring it to 4 years?
Yes.
All these things need to be explained. And why are we practicing the 4 years? As I said, we've practiced 4 yees since 1992. Has it been helpful? Let's look at Dubai. Dubai had a vision where 50 years plan. And now Dubai is seen as a new country altogether. It's because of the plan they had as national plan for the country. So I think that we need to look at the tangents as a country we are going to move. And still on the issue, on the program that happened yesterday, a key thing that came up was the constitutionality of the president appointment and all these things. As Mimi raised up, the deputy chief of staff came in to make us know that indeed the president followed the right procedure. Dr. Daniel said something. He said, how are we going to deal with this issue of political interference, especially in the civil service? How? Then the only way to go is that, why don't you take that appointment from the president and give it to the governing council or the public service commission? And I think that is the way to go, because Mimi, assuming if anybody is a president and you're supposed to appoint someone to fill a gap, you would definitely appoint someone you know. You would definitely.
And
that is what
see
yesterday.
That as political interference.
That is what yesterday the Minister of Employment and Labour and Job Relations made a statement over there. That automatically when the politicians come to office and he's going to appoint someone, he would appoint someone that he knows or someone he trusts. He can't just appoint any other person, because what if the person comes to mess up? So I believe that the way to go in this issue of constitutionality of presidential appointment, as Dr. Daniel said, is that let's take that appointment from the president, as it happened in LI 2462, which give the president the power to give people to go ahead to mine in the forest reserve. That power was taken from the president in the revocation of LI 2462, and now it's going to be taken off totally. So I think this is the way to go.
So I also think that we should remove the kind of influence we've given these are our leaders, because as you said, if this power is even given to, say, the Public Services Commission and things, we are Africans, we are human. There is still the risk of some sort of influence coming from the leaders, in that they might go there. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but this is a case where these councils, these governing bodies could be easily influenced, incentivized, yes, let me use that word, to pick somebody of their preference. It is something we experience in various jurisdictions of our lives, you see.
But you see,
so if we take off that influence that our politicians have so much power and so much influence, then we can actually have these bodies being fully autonomous.
Yes, but with the point that you're saying, if the power is taken from the presidency and given to the commission or governing council, they're going to be incentivized. So with the fact that they might be bribed in a way to choose people they want, for me, I think it takes out the political interference we see publicly, because civil service is supposed to be anonymous. It's supposed to be neutral. So even if nobody knows my political affiliation, select somebody that is related to me in the same political affiliations, but nobody knows, it's better than it's coming from the presidency.
Is it really, though?
I'm just saying, we'll choose that over it's coming from the presidency, where everybody knows that this person there is an NDC or MPP member.
Right. So let me remind our viewers, our phone lines are open. Do you want, the presidency, the tenure of presidency to be extended? Please call and weigh in on the conversation. If you do want that, how many years and why? If you don't, why also? Then also, I've seen that some people are calling the WhatsApp number. Please take note of the call number and the WhatsApp number. There is a difference in the last 4 digits. It's 0423 for the call number and 0421 for the WhatsApp number. So please do take note. What are your thoughts? Share with us. You can send them also via text. I'll read them here. Now, you know that
Yara, before you come in, I'll forget this statement. We've made a point that, yes, when it's given to the Governing Council or the Public Service Commission, the president can have its way.
I didn't say the president, though. I said leaders.
Okay, leaders
influence.
can
Please.
Influence. Yes. And I like the fact that Mimi is saying that we've not tried it before.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a try?
Yeah.
We've not tried it before. 32 years, there's been the president appointed. Or why don't you give it a try to this time around? Give that power
I
to the
think
Governing
the
Council.
The try
it should be
is being intensified right now because of the political interference.
Exactly.
People think it is happening.
It's happening.
So let's try the different methods
Right.
to see.
Okay. So
And-
let's
and
consider
again,
this.
Yara,
What about
please.
voting? Civil service staff, the governing bodies create a way to vote. So they put the appointees, the eligible people. Everybody goes to exercise franchise.
It's a nice point, but it's also going to
Resources,
a lot of
money,
but you see,
everything.
Yara,
We can digitize.
the another point we should look at is that according to the Constitution, whenever a president term of office elapses or whenever it ends, the governing board for every institution is also dissolved.
Yeah.
That's what the Constitution says. It's also so when you listen to what yesterday the Deputy Chief of Staff said, he said, as at the point of appointment of the registrar for death and death, there were no governing council.
Yeah.
You see the issue we have now.
So it just came straight from the presidency.
Yes. So if there were no governing council as at that point in time, it means that the president, when he's been appointed, needs to form the governing council.
Yeah.
So indirectly, that formation of the governing council also, the president has a say.
Exactly.
So we have a whole lot of constitutional review that we need to do.
Yeah.
And I think as Clockstack has speak up this, let's champion it to the
Yeah.
very board of the Constitutional Review Committee. That there's the structure. Let's just take it off. Why don't you do it this way? So that this kind of political interference, we don't have it in the country.
Yeah.
And let's also be reminded that the fact that it's in the Constitution does not make it absolute. These are human beings that enforce these laws with different circumstances around these laws. Because if you look at the Constitution we had before the 1992 Constitution, and even the 1992 Constitution, the kind of powers given to the president, you can see that most of them were to try to protect the presidency against any coup d'etats and things. And it has ended up giving us new sets of problems. So the fact that it's in the Constitution does not mean that, you know, it's set in stone. There's nothing we can do about it. Then also I wanted to mention that a few months ago, the minority in parliament or the opposition made an allegation that the current administration is looking to extend the presidency. I don't know if we saw something like that at a point.
Yeah.
Now, this coming up, I just want to ask viewers and even my colleagues here, is this conversation not going to cause a sort of stir in that if the civil service staff are saying this and the minority in parliament also called it a few months ago that we suspect this is happening, like we are saying, political interference, are we not at the risk of probably being accused of being, you know, what's the word, influenced to say something like that?
Who has influenced who? Who is at risk? Why was the minority saying that the tenure of office shouldn't be extended? What is the basis? These are the questions we should ask ourselves. And what is the basis for people coming to this Clockstack program saying that it needs to be extended? They brought the basis out.
Yeah.
They brought the justification out. So it is to the ordinary Ghanaian to say that, to decide that this is the way to go, there's no way to go. It is not about politics. It's not about NPP, NDC. Trust me, if it was NPP was in power, NDC would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
They would have also done the same thing.
Yeah.
Today, they are talking about, there is a debate going out about what the AG is doing, and people are saying that the AG is making a lot of commentary on issues we're supposed to be at the court. Previously, we had the president also making statements ahead of court issues on public gathering. Nobody talked about it. So I think it's hard time we throw away this politics that. Let the various organizations, civil service organizations, the unions and all these people, let them fight for the betterment of the country. Now let's take away this politics here, politics there, politics here. That's the way to go. Nana Jamina said, he has been a head of service in the, let's say, NPP government, NDC government. Yesterday, when I listened to him, he said when he meets chief of staff, they ask him, are you an NDC or an NPP? These questions will come up.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said. He said, it's because I was doing my work well. That's what you were asking that question.
Yeah.
So I believe that let us do the work well by serving the good people of Ghana, and let's throw away politics here, politics there.
You see, the question he was asked, it comes back to the influence thing. Now, if he, in his wisdom, he did not answer those questions, right? But as he said, he was doing his work well, and that's why they were asking him that. Now, the influence comes back in that the way you are doing your work well, we want to recruit you, you would be... And these things, if somebody who is slightly weak-minded or is self-serving, you would easily fall into such a trap and then be exposed as politically inclined to one party or the other. That's why I'm talking about the influence thing again, that the way our politicians have been given so much power and have been put on such a pedestal that they think, or most of them think that they can do anything, or we are even also of the notion that if you get, close to this politician, your life would change. All these things are things that we need to consider when it comes to giving these bodies, as you're saying, the prerogative to make certain selections. And then it would also reduce the political influence because they know that they can do something for you. They'll give you some no feel, and then you would also, start doing what they want you to do.
Yeah. And that was why Dr. Daniel yesterday was calling for the civil service training. I think it is high time we educated civil service staff. I don't want to say civil servants, civil service staff, so that they learn and understand the work, like what they are or why they are called civil service staff. Because if you don't understand your roles, if you don't understand what you are there for, you will definitely expose yourself. Some people don't even know that as a civil service staff, you don't have to expose your political affiliation. You don't have to tell people where you belong to. But we go out wearing political party, dresses and other things to show that we are here, we belong here and other things. And so if you happen to be you, Yaira, you tell us that you are an MPP member, and then God being so good, you are appointed as chief director. Don't you think we'll use that against you?
Yeah, it will definitely be.
So the education needs to be more to enhance, the implementation of the constitutional reforms.
And I've had interactions with retired civil service staff, and each of them I've spoken with have mentioned the fact that there used to be trainings. I remember last year, Nathan Kwao Excellence Awards, in the lecture, we spoke with Ambassador Ben Egan, and he mentioned that there were times where civil service staff are actually sponsored to take a course or two at institutions like GIMPA and the likes. And all of these help to improve upon, what as you're saying here, learning the ropes, getting to know how to do your work very well. But it seems as though with the current jurisdiction now, we are not hearing so much of that anymore, because all the time you hear that you take this course, you take that course, you do this, you're even given, some steady leave to go and get some training to become more efficient and more valuable in the institution. So I think that needs to be brought back, even though it's costly, but
it can also
in the end,
start in our offices. It can start in our various offices. If you are heading towards 60, you're approaching 60 and you'll be retiring soon, there are younger ones coming. You can start talking to them, train them, teach them. It doesn't cost anything.
Like you're saying, it's true. Even regardless of the department you are put in, you should be given somebody to understudy.
Yes.
That does not mean that your job security is threatened. It is passing on knowledge. Because at some point, you're no longer going to be here. It may be due to retirement. It may be due to getting another job. It could even be the inevitable death. What happens to all of that quality knowledge you have acquired when, the youth are here and they are clueless? So I think, yes, that is something we should start. If you're an administrator,
aunties and uncles.
If you're an administrator, you should have one or two people understudying you, learning the ropes. If you're a manager, if you're this, you're that. It is all to groom you. But then also, as we are saying this, in these institutions, the politics there, who gets to understudy whom? That is also another thing the institutions would have to look at in order not to end up playing some sort of favoritism and things. So I think we ourselves too could avail ourselves to some of our superiors that I have a penchant for maybe human resource administration. I would like to learn. I would like to do so and so, we can also take the step.
And
if we get a chance,
make sure you don't overlane. You
don't go and do more than your boss.
The issue is, why do you even want to learn?
Yes.
I love the fact that our general manager always tell us the
quiet principle.
The quiet principle. Why do you want to learn? Why?
To take over.
Some people are learning because they want to take over. As I'm saying, some people are learning because, yes, they want to kick off the leader. Some people want to understand you because, Charlie, they want to look for your weakness and hit you from behind.
Yes. Yeah.
So
all of
the
those things happen.
principle. So I think that Dr. Daniel said something yesterday. There should be a reset of mind.
Yeah.
While the presidency are resetting their mind, civil service staff should reset their mind. Yeah. It shouldn't come from one side.
Yeah.
It should be from both sides. That lastly, what I want to say on this thing is, we equally want to congratulate the overall awardee, that is Dr. Evans A. Jukum, who happens to be the former Chief Director for Ministry of Defense and also the former President for ClockSat. We want to congratulate him so much. And also the former General Secretary for TUC. Yesterday he said that let's sometimes the right things, let's talk about it. We shouldn't always talk about the wrong things as a country. When someone is doing something that is right, let's talk about it. And Dr. Dan also said that let's appreciate people whilst they are alive. We shouldn't wait till they die before we come out to sing a good song about them. Let us sing the song now whilst they are alive. So
and it's like we are leaving the head of civil service out. He also, in 2 minutes, said something, profound. And he made mention of the fact that we need a vibrant democracy to make government more effective. And by vibrancy, we are talking about education, making it very digital. I mean, we are in a digital world, and that takes me back to the Civil Service Week celebration. They also had their theme, which was on digitalization.
And AI.
So it should be digitalized so that it will be exciting to be a civil service staff.
Right. So I would like to remind our viewers about the tenure. Should it be extended, the presidency's tenure, should it be extended beyond 4 years? Let us hear your thoughts on that. So please do call and weigh in on the conversation. Now, the next thing up on our list of discussions is...
Yes, I know there's something there for us to discuss. Let me just say this. As at yesterday, the Auditor General presented the forensic audit on the National Service Authority. All the findings are out. And I just want to make 1 or 2 revelations from the report.
Revealed to us.
Yes. One, he said that payments beyond the legal mandated 12 to 13-month service period was not followed. And it cost Ghana 1.0 billion Ghana cedis, was paid to 120,777 personnel who received allowances for more than 13 months. So this is an issue Ghana is dealing with. He said payments without biometric and monthly validation was around 989 million Ghana cedis. 989 million Ghana cedis. This is just one institution. There was also another review being made that's breach of postings control. Out of 935,375 postings between 2018 and 2024, 733,139 were done via protocol or manual override posting method. I hope you understand the protocol, special posting and all these things. That is the findings from the Auditors General. And it says specific misconduct. For example, the former Deputy Executive Director of NSA, Gifty Oware Abuaje, was found to have been enrolled as a national service person while being a full-time salaried public officer and paid allowances totaling 6,708.48 Ghana cedis. So this I just want to make just talk about a few of them. I think we will discuss into details another day. So this is the auditors. It is online. You can go and download the report and read it for yourself. It was done by the Auditors General. That is done audit service.
So the least said the better. There is a comment here. So let me read it for us. So this one is Teacher Constitution. And he says the NDC's performance is disappointing. We've had to make tough choices like selling our color TV to buy a black and white one. It's like choosing NDC's empty promises of our MPP's free SHS. Future generations will question our decision. Greetings to Honorable Mavis Nkansa Boedu, COK, JFK, and Honorable Dr. Dr. Yao Educhum, sorry. Well, I mean, these are opinions, these are thoughts.
Yeah.
Because him calling the previous government color TV and it's on a black and white, someone else too would beg to differ because
you see,
based on the 1 million votes,
that's the
is
mindset
that the
we are
color
talking
TV?
about. The resetting of the mindset. You know, every little opportunity we get, we want to politicize everything. We want to show that we are highly political. You are in your house. What do you get by doing this? If someone is doing something good, just say it and then forget about what has happened in the past. Let's move on to our next trend.
Exactly.
So there has been some kind of debate in Parliament lately about the reintroduction of the LGBTQ. Reintroduction in the sense that it was introduced by the previous government, and I think the debate was intensified somewhere late last year, and unfortunately it wasn't passed into law. And this ninth Parliament is calling for a reintroduction. We want to start everything afresh, and it is, causing some kind of debate in Parliament. And so that is what is happening in Parliament at the moment.
And there's also the fact that it may be reviewed. And I remember, watching some excerpts, and they were saying that this bill is about promoting good sexual conduct. Even the name of the bill is family values and something, right?
Yeah.
And I want to link it. I'm not going to really speak on the activities of two consenting adults. I want to base the promoting good sexual conduct on what I want to see. Now, we have a story here about a fisherman who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for defiling a 13-year-old girl. We are talking about promoting good family values, good sexual conduct. And we are so focused on two consenting adults. What about adults engaging in activities like this with children? Because this story about the fisherman, 4 of his friends or 3 of his friends were videoing what he was doing. We are in this country with TV stations showing certain, explicit content in the name of trying to help people's marriages. People are engaging in pseudo-sexual acts live on TV at, odd hours, yes. But let's think about the fact that children are impressionable. Their minds are like sponges. Monkey see, monkey do, as we term it. If a child sees 2 adults, engaging in an activity, it transcends the genders. Whatever they've seen, they will want to do it. Whether they do it with their fellow gender mate or the opposite gender, it is basically wanting to replicate that action. And if we are going to talk about these promoting good sexual conduct, family values, and the rest, let us also draw attention to the people who are trying to engage in these things with children. There's even a campaign I think it's starting in more of Nigeria than in Ghana though, but it is also happening here where there are child marriages. I think a few weeks ago, there was a story that came out on the internet that, was it Sudan or Somalia? One of these countries, the eastern sides of the world, talking about the fact that they passed a law to increase the age of consent to 18. And the men rioted to overturn it back to 12. We have, in Africa here, or even in Ghana, we have systems in our traditional culture where I owe you money, I can't pay, so I'll give you my 12-year-old daughter, to marry, and then we, offset the debt. And we have people with mentalities that once she has started menstruating, she's eligible for marriage. And people are engaging in these activities with children, underage children. And we are talking about family values, whatnot, our culture, our religion, and attention is not being drawn to that. That is where my problem is when it comes to this issue. Whatever 2 adults are doing, regardless of their gender, is not much of something I would think about, because as you're in your house, whatever you are doing, whether it's legal or illegal, until you are caught maybe by some raid, nobody would know. Fine. But the children, And we're talking about families, family values. These things happen, and and the perpetrators are still at large. That is my problem when it comes to the family values bill. Let us do something about that.
The story for me is very heartbreaking. I mean, the story. Even though we have commended, authorities for, arresting and jailing the perpetrator for 10 years, I think it is not enough. You said it all. I mean, attention needs to be, taken to that direction. This is not the first time this is happening. And after the person is being jailed, what next? How does it end? How are we preventing these incidents from happening? What's so attractive, about a child that an adult would want to, have his way?
Yeah.
Why? Is it so hard to lure older women to have, an affair?
Lure is not even a good term to
I want
use,
to
because
know.
lure means that the person is unsuspecting. And this same country, they say catch them young. They tell the boys, your wife, she's now in KG. All these kinds of mentalities are what we live with in this country. And we're talking about good sexual conduct, and you want to touch a 2-year-old, a baby, a 12-year-old. She has just started developing breasts. She will be beautiful when she grows up. So you want to... These things should be also in this bill.
The punishment for
Criminalize
these people
it.
is not enough. I mean, jailing them is not enough. Cut the thing.
Public lashing.
I think so.
Yes, Clement, we want to hear you.
Exactly. I will
Your
start
gender.
with
Your gender.
I would some. I will start with the issue of the LGBTQ plus, and as Mimi raised it, it has sparked debate in Parliament. The issue. Let's look at the genesis of this whole issue. The bill was introduced in the 8th Parliament. It was introduced as private members' bill. Whenever I talk about private members' bill, it means that a member of Parliament or group of members of Parliament come together to present that kind of bill, or to present that kind of ideology, or whatever we would call it, so that Parliament will look at it, go through it. If it is right, then it's been accepted. We've had a lot of bill in the country which has been through the private members' bill. It has been accepted. So when you look at the 8th Parliament, when this bill was introduced, it went through all the process it's supposed to go through. The final place it went to was a precedent for the president to sign, so that it becomes a law, or whatever we would call it. But it did not happen. According to the Constitution and according to the practice of Parliament, when one process happens or starts in the previous Parliament, and the previous Parliament is dissolved, or let's say their term of administration comes to an end, that very thing also ends automatically. That is why this LGBTQ bill is now reintroduced into Parliament. But this time around, the reintroduction of this LGBTQ is not in the form of private members' bill, but rather public bill. When we talk about public bill means that the government is the one introducing the bill this time around, through either the minister or the sector minister, or through any of the ministers on behalf of the president. So when you listen to the Speaker of Parliament, he said, and I know we have the video, he said that the reason why he was not in agreement with the president, and he told him personally, was that this was started as a private member's bill. It was a member of Parliament who introduced it. So why don't it go through the same process? But this time around, the government want to pick it up. So when Parliament resumed, on the other paper, it was part of it that there's going to be the presentation of the LGBTQ plus bill. But on the next day, or the next session of Parliament, or the next sitting, other members of Parliament realized that that very item that is supposed to be on the other paper is not there. So they were asking the question that where is this very item that is supposed to be on the other paper? And I think before I would proceed, I would like the producer to play the video of the Speaker of Parliament. Then I would proceed with the rest of the presentation.
So the 9th Parliament, on resumption, took back the bill, and as you recall, that's a private member's bill. And so members of this House took it up, they've gone through the whole process as detailed out in our standing orders. But as it went through the process, the new government indicated that they wanted to take it as a public bill. I personally disagreed. I made it known to His Excellency the President that this is an initiative of our people, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders, civil society leaders. Ghanaians wanted this bill passed through private members' bill. And so be it. We'll process it as private members' bill. Our brothers from Uganda are here because they are ahead of us already on this matter. And so they will share with you their experiences too. They have already passed an act on it. They are implementing it. They've hosted twice 2 conferences on this subject matter. And they are calling on other countries, particularly Ghana, to host the next conference. And so they will share their experiences with you and maybe convince you to host it for other African countries to emulate the good examples that we are setting.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to respectfully...
All right, so that was our Honourable Speaker, clarifying, as Clement was also saying. So yes, please proceed with your presentation.
Yaira, when listening to the Speaker of Parliament, he explained why it was private members' bill. Mm-hmm. And he, as he said, he personally disagreed that it should be a public bill because already in the 8th Parliament, it has gone through all the process.
Yeah.
And the only thing needed is that the president is supposed to sign. So why don't we just, according to him, why don't we just pass through the same process? And this time around, when we start as private members' bill, the duration of the time duration would not be that much as compared to the previous 8th Parliament, because everybody knows what the bill is all about. Yeah. Everybody knows the details of the bill. So it won't be much problem. But to him, picking it up from the government point of view, when government presents this bill on the floor of Parliament, Mimi, the conversation will now become partisan conversation. Yeah. It will now become NPP and NDC. And the civil societies will now be missing. I think that is the angle Speaker of Parliament doesn't want the bill to be. So let the bill come as a neutral bill, where everybody would bring his thoughts on it, so that we will know that indeed it was the Ghanaians or the ordinary people or civil society organizations, as he said, religious leaders who want this bill passed, so that we go through that target. But if not, and it comes through the government, it becomes a political conversation. We know the country we find ourselves. Everything becomes political conversation. Already, this bill had a lot of controversy, people sending it to court, and all these kind of matters and all. So I think that it needs to be relooked at again.
And it's being political is not going to help because it has economic concerns. I mean, people are going to treat, such people harshly. People are going to treat, if it was presented by the NPP and we are seeing it as political, people that are involved in this and are not MPP will start hating MPP supporters, that kind of thing. Yeah. Realistically, that's how it looks. So I think I agree with the Speaker of Parliament. He's a father and he understands these things. And so I think it should be a public bill and not a private one.
So I would like to clarify why I was, so focused on the pedophile or pedophilia. When it comes to this LGBTQIA plus whatnot, where it is coming from, there are people who have decided it is an identity. So in talking about, then they also want to be put in the same umbrella that they are attracted to children. So in speaking about that and seeing what we have here in our nations, yes, people haven't come out to say, yes, I'm attracted to children, but we are seeing a lot of these behaviors. That is why I also mentioned it, that it shouldn't just be one side of the umbrella, but the whole thing, that it should be encapsulated in it so that it does not look like I'm trying to say something I have not said. As to whether the bill should be passed or not, I mean, debates are ongoing. We are here. We're also going to give our takes on that. Then also, viewers, we would like to hear from you. Should the president's tenure be extended? What do you also think about the bill? What should they add? What should they take out? Let us hear from you. The phone lines are opened, and we would like to also get to your comments on our live stream, on our WhatsApp, on our YouTube, Facebook. We would like to hear from you. Now, another conversation. It started somewhere last week, and I had been debating it with Peter, even backstage, and it's about the fact that SHS students in their hair. Clement seems to have sharpened his mouth for this conversation. Yes. Should SHS students be allowed to keep their hair or to cut it? This is another thing that has sparked conversation again. Let's hear your thoughts. Clement, since you opened the floor.
I think I'll let Mimi pick it up since I found myself in
So this debate started on social media and people took it up. I mean, media personalities started talking about it on their various platforms, and it even got to the hearing of the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, and he made it point blank that students should cut their hair. If you cannot cut your hair, then don't go to school, because it is part of the ethics of the school. I mean, it is the rules governing the school that says you should trim your hair. And if you cannot abide by that, then you find a different school and then you attend. Just this morning, I saw a post by the MP for Gomua Central, Kwame A+, and he's saying, don't cut your kids' hair. That nonsense must stop. Take your kids to GIS. You can't afford GIS, then cut the nonsense hair, and they will go for free. They will go to secondary schools for free. So he's just trying to say that if you want free education for your kids, then they are saying cut your hair, the hair of your kids, so that they can attend free SHS. But if you want to go to international schools like GIS, then let them keep their hair. And it is also sparking, controversies on social media. I mean, people are bashing him. How many people can afford
as
GIS?
a political leader, if this is the way you are going
he's
to
just
communicate,
tired. There are some conversations that people think we don't have to talk about this.
Exactly.
There's so many important
things.
My tree is coming out this morning. He is a political leader, a representative of a constituency. Penyin Dienka. Kasano. You make this comment. And I'm nonsense here. I mean, as a leader.
But what to me to we no go free SHS. He has given options.
So what's
two
the
options.
That's the nonsense here, no?
He's tired.
Exactly, he's tired. That's on lighter note. Let's pick it up from
I hope it is, because
direction.
it's not.
Ministry of Education is a ministry for the entire education of the country. Ghana Education Service regulates the entire educational system of the country. They don't regulate only government institutions or only private institutions. That is the point we should make. So if GES is saying that assuming they say cut your kid's hair, whether you send your kid to international school, whether you send it to government school or whatever school it is, so far as it finds itself in the jurisdiction of the country, then you're supposed to cut it. Because that is what it means. But let's look at the essence of cutting a kid's hair.
That is what I need us to talk about.
Yes.
What exactly does that do?
I love that question. People are making the point that what is the correlation between cutting a kid's hair and this academic performance? People are saying that after all, what do we seek to gain? But when he listened to the minister, he said, on the basis of discipline. That is point number one.
Okay.
On the basis of discipline. For discipline's sake, and to keep our institutions in check, to keep our kids in check, let's cut their hair. That is point number one.
Yeah.
But, Mimi, the issue is, my question is, why should a young girl, or let's say, let me use a young girl because that's girls fall victim a lot. At the age of 12 years, 14, 13, 15, be allowed to braid their hair? That is my first question. Why should they be allowed to braid their hair? 2, if these kids are allowed to braid their hair and they go to SHS institutions, would they be taking exerts to go do rebraiding, washing, or there's going to be salon in the schools? That is.
So yesterday I saw a post. Yesterday I saw a post from presidential staffer.
Okay.
Nanaya Jantua, and she said allowing SHS students to keep long hair could create job opportunities by setting up salons.
I made this
on
just
campuses.
last week.
Just like what we have in the university.
And we are promoting TVET.
Yes.
Training and all that for.
So these kids can even be doing washing for themselves.
I love the angle you're coming from. It's very interesting. But the point is, Yara, if we give access to cutting of hair, the braiding of hair in the institution, the next thing we would ask for is the dressing code.
Yeah.
The next thing is goes with dressing.
But Clement,
I don't have a lot of
land.
The next thing is going to be the dressing code. After the dressing code, then why not makeup? After makeup, then why not this, that, or that?
Yeah.
This is not a stretch, but this is the basis. This is the fundamentals. What it is in our schools, public schools or the schools we attend, when your hair is bushy at assembly ground, you see a teacher from behind using scissors. What does it tell us?
Personally, Clement, that act, I never enjoyed that. I felt
it had
something
psychological
that,
effects.
seriously, somebody cannot concentrate for the rest of the term
Because they
of
have
that.
a hole in their head.
So what are they trying to communicate?
Okay,
What they're trying to
Keep your
communicate.
hair short.
Keep your head not short, be decent. Decent, that is the word.
Okay.
Be decent.
Okay,
It's not any other thing. They don't expect you to do anything. Just be decent.
Okay.
Sometimes nails, you just be in assembly ground.
Like your
nails. Oh, that like you see, the Minister of Education said that after SHS, when you go to university, you can't do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So if today my nails are that is the reason.
Remember,
So I think that this kind of conversation, to me, it shouldn't be proper.
Okay.
In our education.
I have a question.
It's a disciplinary act.
Okay.
And let us allow our kids to pass through, because if you're unable to let the school pass through you, as the saying goes, and you just decide to pass through the school with your own belief, with your own norm, it won't work.
Okay.
We want a country that works. So if we want a country that works, it means that let everything in the country works.
Okay.
When we allow everybody to bring whatever he thinks is right into the country.
Yeah, before you come in, when we started our trends, I mean, the first story we spoke about was something about constitution and how we should introduce reforms and other things.
Sure.
Don't you think at the point when this decision was being taken, maybe it was some circumstances that
colonial
that surrounded this decision, and we've lived like that throughout till now? Are you saying that because it has been the norm, we should continue having that without having reforms? I mean, the psychological effect it has on kids that have kept their hair from childhood to secondary school, and you have to cut everything. Look at the investment.
I love the angle.
I raised a point that I had this neighbor who had a daughter, and she said the reason why she keeps her hair is because the shape of the daughter's hair is not nice. It's shape that's why, so that people will not make fun of her daughter. So assuming she goes to the secondary school and then it's a mixed school. I mean, you know how mixed schools are.
And just on Tuesday, we were talking about bullying. Even the
they'll
single
start
sex
calling you
schools.
Agogo. They'll start calling you December
Box
head.
iron.
Easy. This is so interesting. I like the angle Mimi is coming from, because you are talking about constitution review, and there's another angle we need to look at. But every situation, we look at the positive and the negative. We weigh the situation on the decks to see what is the advantage and disadvantage. So we compare. And this issue we are talking about, from listening to a lot of people commentary on this issue, maybe I am of the view, or I would agree with the other population of the country who says that let them cut their hair.
Okay.
Because
I have a question.
Let them cut their hair. I part you are coming in with the psychology aspect of all these things. Why did they start? It's some of the parents.
Okay.
It's the parents.
Okay.
So if we the parents, if we adhere, why would the kids comply? If we the parents, if we adhere. Some parents are saying that it is we have a thought where we said fine, we have medical reasons.
Yeah.
That is different.
Aside that, Clement, let's just say you've had boys throughout. You've given birth to boys throughout, and then God blesses you with a girl, and she's so hairy. Clement,
You give him the chance to say you are being emotional. Clement, let me come to my question.
I don't have a lot of things to say.
This one they have to ask. Let me ask. You mentioned discipline, right? Now there's a saying when you go to Rome,
do what the Romans
please,
do.
Do what the Romans do, isn't it? We have foreign nationals coming into our senior high schools. They have a different texture of hair. Let me use Miriam's wig as an example. I'm not trying to put you on the
Please
spot, I'm sorry.
Don't zoom me, please.
Now, you can get 13-year-old student. Their hair is probably longer than Miriam's wig. She comes to come and attend one of our senior high schools here. You said discipline. We don't find that foreign national has to cut her hair because of discipline.
Yeah.
Why is that? Now, on somewhere last week when we were talking about this, I was talking about the fact that it started from colonial times, where when the schools were, instituted, when the schools were established, the teachers were mainly, the colonial masters and basically foreigners. Now, our hair texture is very different from the straighter and wavy one. Ours is more of coils. We were also conditioned to believe that it is ugly. So now, as you mentioned, your hair is bushy. Then they're asking if you combed it. But before colonial times, the women in this nation or in this continent of Africa were managing their hair. They were braiding it. They were doing all the styles that we know of and living very well. Beautiful afros and whatnot. I'm sure you have your parents' older, past pictures. You can see their hair, nice, beautiful looking afros and styles. Colonial masters come in and they decide it is not nice and condition us to also think that way. Now, back to the fact that the schools had mostly these colonial masters as teachers. These are, I don't want to say white people because that's not exactly professional to say, but these are people who do not know how to manage our hair. They also see it as ugly. So obviously they will say we should cut it because like we are saying now, we have barbering shops close to the schools. These teachers at the time who were having to handle these students as boarding school students, they wouldn't know what to do to the child's hair. We understand that. But now we are saying that if now there is a barbering shop within a few miles of every school these days that the teachers and housemasters and mistresses can line you up to go and cut your hair, what stops us from saying keep your hair all back? Just braid a beautiful, neat cornrow, no extensions, nothing, if you want to braid, and then we go. Rather than we are doing this for discipline. I mean, let's not also sort of veer from the fact that there are more important things to discuss. But if you are going to talk about discipline, then when you're in Rome, do what the Romans do. When the Asians come with their straight Chinese and whatnot hair, and they should also have to cut it.
Yeah, I was beginning to side with you. I have been siding with a whole lot of people that want us to, allow our SHS girls to keep their hair. But realistically speaking, I think it's work. It's a lot of work to keep your hair as a secondary.
So the white people who are keeping their hair.
I'm just saying, natural hair, you know how natural hairs look like. Ghanaian natural hairs. That's why most people relax it because like I feel not natural hairs, right? Keeping natural hairs, you do natural. And the other time you even said you wanted to relax your hair. Why? Because you are tired. So I feel it's work. I mean,
yes, it could be work.
Just focus on your studies. After 3 years, your hair will grow back.
But here is the case that the hair, you really cut yours. The hair, we understand that, but I'm trying to bring our minds back to the influence. Like I said, before colonial times, the women were handling their hair.
I love the fact you said the women, you didn't say the girls.
The women, I'm talking about the general female population.
You said the women, not the girls.
I'm I'm not trying to say that in their youth they had their haircuts. They had their hair and everything. And you sometimes, like I said, very big afros is not 3 years hair. But the point is that since colonial times, there have been products and things introduced to us as Africans, even Africans in the diaspora, like you're saying, relax your hair, make it more manageable. But going back to our roots, managing our hair the way our ancestors were managing it, those bits of knowledge were not passed down to us. And that is why now Miriam is also saying natural hair is work. But then also, we need to look at more important things, but we shouldn't we should give the appropriate reasons. But then we also have a caller on the line. So let's hear your thoughts. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie. I'm calling from Atlanta.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Please, would like to hear your thoughts on the conversation.
Okay. I suppose the SHS students should cut down their hairs because it brings uniformity. It's also a kind of discipline. Because, even some of the girls who cut down their hair, some came to school without, combing their hair or brushing up their hairs. They leave their hairs unchecked. How much more that they are even going to leave their hair without, cutting down their hair? That one is going to be, somehow bushy. And then, so I suppose that they should cut down their hair.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. We apologize for the delay in the phone lines, but now the technical issue has been rectified, so your calls will come through.
So she was talking about uniformity.
Exactly.
Uniformity. Inti Brunimba no is
No, their hairs are more relaxed than ours.
No, it's uniformity. We should keep it down, right?
Can I,
Is it uniform when the Brunese?
No. The issue here is this policy or this thing was already there, but it was not strictly implemented. That is why now the ministry, it was, but it was kind of, it was loosed a while. That is why now the ministry has ordered GES to pick it up again. If whoever, being it,
Okay, please, we have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Koko Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm called Alhaji Aziz from Tema.
Okay, we'd like to hear you.
Yeah. This morning, your conversation is very interesting.
Thank you.
When you are talking about the extension of the presidency, what I think is if we can make it 7 years in a term, the presidency should be 7 years, and that person will have a one term. There will not be any second term for the person. That will help. Okay. The reason I'm saying this is sometimes there are some projects that the president will take, which will not take up to that 4 years is less for the person to complete some of the projects or some of the projects that the person wanted to. You understand? But these 4 years it's very small. It's very small for the person to do. So if you can make it 7 years, and once you finish your 7 years away, you are gone for the income. And secondly, about the children headcut, about the headcut. My sister, let's just tell ourselves the truth. The truth is one, which is we are losing our children discipline. Let our teachers and our students help we to bring up the discipline in our children. If your child wanted to have hair, what you do, my child will wake up and say, Daddy, today I wear only pants and go to school. I told to wear pants to go to school.
Okay.
And from there, where are we going? So let our teachers and our students help we to just do some discipline in our children. And we, the parents, have to support them. We, the parents, have to give them support so that it will help our children.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Have a good day. So, yes, that was a caller, and I'd like to remind us of the questions that we would like to hear your thoughts on. So should the presidential term be extended beyond 4 years? If yes, why? If no, why? Should SHS students be allowed to cut their hair or not? And also, what are your thoughts on the anti-LGBT bill as it's known? So please do call and weigh in on the conversation. Send your comments to. I think there's a comment here. Also, let me get that quickly. It says, this is from LCE God. He says, women as a general topic must be addressed because African women, I believe, are lost of their hair and make more of mistakes. I'm not very sure what you mean by that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can continue.
We have another caller.
Okay.
We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling Koko this morning show.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from, please. Okay.
Pacho
you.
Sister Bakono Kabi say, and never see the vanity nephew. And a young woman who cried the moment to work at the vanity Waka Sawama Abosano, another trauma. The person I woke up at no. And I'm going to school, and I'm Shakespeare or movie young example. I want to know my body now. And your mom cries for me on the singing costume. And I'm looking to be and also collaborating for me. Or you or your full and the clean. Almost at the same way your bar. It's most of you are doing different. Yeah, cutting your head is fine. We want to be all schools. Making nothing. Nothing, your minister is so because there's all three of my and you're not talking to me. If it's a woman before Murad, then you won't be able to bed with the back and a man that's in the yes. Woman, wait, yeah, but you need to near Madiano. If you are supposed to be a set, or the Colano, and Tina and me. Not sitting nine, I here. Or before I be and a private school, you're okay. Now, private school, I had a state that air cutting. They said before one private school, yes, to me. What we know, not so people as a mean, I'm living in Bali Coast. We just want to take care there. Me and me, I'm a Bali Coast. But we are only in a Bali Coast. If they do, we want to be control, what is your? If yes, friend, at that time, in Nigeria, one year of practicing our dressing, now, so there was a while we never found out any paper. One man will do valid hours at time. The year of paying the banana cream, there must be banana cream. I didn't be there was one I do a woman about the woman. So we are going to go about one of the former. That's what we thought, yeah, we never. And so that's what no one did.
Yeah, that's it.
No one discussed me as far as that one.
Right. Thank you so much. So let me try to translate. She's basically saying that if the kids keep their hair, usually they tend to look older than they are and tend to become victims of predators, and sometimes also end up, engaging in delinquent behaviors, engaging in more bad boy, bad girl behaviors as well. So it is a good thing. And it would also help to control them and discipline them. So that being said, yes, the phone lines are open. But my question remains, when the white people come, will they cut?
Exactly, that's the point I was coming to.
Okay.
Right? So one, initially it was there. It wasn't really implemented well. Now ministry is saying that they should implement it well, very well. So if you come to the country called Ghana, when you come to our SHS, the policy says that you should do what? Cut your hair. Okay. So whether you are from Uganda, Ethiopia, US, whatsoever, in SHS, do what?
Cut your hair. But there's evidence.
That is there. But now we are taking a different tangent.
If it will affect foreigners, then that makes sense because it is natural hair that comes out of our head, just like theirs, regardless of the texture. Yeah. But we have another caller on the line. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the Koko Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from,
Yeah,
please.
I'm calling from Kasua.
Okay.
And my name is Adam.
Adams, yes, Adams.
Yeah, in respect of the female students cutting their hair.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes, hello. We are listening, please.
Yeah, in the respect of female students trimming down their hair in the senior high schools. In fact, it's a very good call from the minister.
Right.
Because if you will buy with me, women spend more time on their hair. Women, if you are with me, they spend more time trying to shape their hair.
Right.
And if they get the have to trim down her hair and then go to school, she will have nothing to tell. Just take them home and go ahead and go to class. Now that they were asked the professor during her day, how are the school and all those issues? Were they wearing long hair? Let them show colonial schools, children that attended colonial schools. See the children, even our women, see them. You shouldn't politicize issues. Let's train our children in the best way. People say long hair. Are you going for beauty contest? They are not going for beauty contest. They are going for learning. So I pray that the country will buy with the minister and let stripping dogs fly. Thank you.
His point brings my attention to the fact that I saw something on social media. I saw something on social media yesterday, and they were saying that if this thing is allowed, do you know the department that is going to abuse this thing? Home economics. Home economics students. They are going to take it World Cup. You know how lively they are, and also general art students. They want to braid, different styles of
But
hair.
that's what I was saying, that if they are allowing it, they should make a strict code.
Even with
that
cutting
you braid.
of hair, students have a
even-
way
even
of
the
living
students,
it.
you see what they
They
do
tie
with
it and then it goes
Easy,
down.
yes.
So just allowing them to braid it, they'll go with different styles. One straight.
You see,
I mean,
I
my
just want to
problem
say
is,
something.
if foreigners come, they should also go through that. They
They'll
shouldn't
go
tell us
through
that
it.
their hair is nicer than ours, so they can keep theirs. Then that becomes a discriminatory reason why we are cutting our hair.
So, Yara, as we said, they will go through it because that is the rules or that is the laws of the country.
Okay.
So when it comes to Ghana,
If
you need
that's
to
the
obey
case, then I'm
the
fine.
rules and laws of country. I love what the I think the last part one speaker caller
lady,
said,
yeah.
the woman. Is it Mimi mentioned something?
That the I forgot to also translate that.
Bad. So it has a lot of psychological. And the woman said something that if you give birth, and even if the shape of the head is not looking nice, what are you supposed to do? Encourage the kid.
Yeah, encourage.
Give the kid a different reason why she should see her head as the best in the
Clement,
world.
what reason would you give to your child?
But this is
I
about
know.
positivity and affirmations.
Nyankopon a ball.
Oh,
On
the
the
head,
same
you can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Boxer and the ball,
You were created in the image and the likeness of God.
Take us
God's
there.
head is big.
So if my head is like that, that is the shape of God's head.
And with this conversation and everything, we cannot talk about this without talking about Tyrone Margai, the Achimota student.
Yeah.
After defending the reason to keep his hair, he was the overall best student. So that goes to tell us that their hair has nothing to do with academics. His hair, looking the way it is, yes, it is the natural hair. I would always say this, we've been conditioned to think that our hair is not nice because it doesn't look a certain way. But that hair is beautiful in its own way. Just like the other textures are also beautiful in their own way. Look at the amazing feats this boy achieved. So if we are talking about hair in academics, like the man was saying that, is it a beauty contest? Considering his hair, the normal Ghanaian or African man will say his hair is not a beauty matter because he's just a boy, his hair is on his head, but he's a brilliant student. So that's why I'm reiterating that if we are talking about this hair thing, let us not link it to academics because the hair, whether you cut it or not, is still growing out of your head every second, every minute, like the scientific things. Whatever the case, give us the actual, more valid reason why if it's uniformity,
Discipline.
we understand. But even with discipline, Tyrone, I don't think we heard anything like he was a delinquent student breaking bounds.
No.
But this is a student who, gave Achimota a name for a while at a point.
Exactly. His case is different.
How? Is it not here?
There are uniqueness in every case. And I think the conversation is around what happens to people that they have medical reasons. The guy justified the reason why his head is supposed to be on. That is the way to go. If you think you need to keep your hair on,
Justify it.
why? There should be justification. When you go to boarding school, I think now it's still there, but our days, you have people who don't eat the normal meals they prepare for everybody. They have special meal.
I was one.
If you're one, they have special meal. So there are special cases for special people.
Yes.
That one is different.
Yeah, I think we'll have to leave this conversation for our viewers.
Exactly.
There is a trending video.
Okay.
We have
happening.
before the
a
video,
caller?
we have a comment. This is from Barrister Kojo, aka Peter Insian. I have revealed your identity.
Oh.
We were having this conversation last week here with him, and he wants to weigh in. So he says, "Good morning, Koko Digest. I am enjoying the show this morning, but I strongly believe that allowing girls to keep their hair untouched isn't something we should tolerate without considering equality and fairness. If a male child wants to keep their hair long, should they be allowed to? This is where equality and equity come into play. Allowing students to braid their hair could lead to distractions in the classroom,
Of course.
as they might end up playing with each other's hairs instead of paying attention in class. Even in the universities where students are adults, certain hairstyles are not allowed for this reason. Hygiene is also crucial, and our schools should maintain their standards. If we start relaxing rules on hairstyles, it could lead to issues with uniforms and makeup. Senior high schools are meant to be training grounds for our kids, and we should uphold those standards. Let us not pressure parents who can't afford to maintain certain hairstyles. It's lovely to see kids' hair well groomed under their parents' supervision. Some adults struggle to keep their hair clean and neat, and we see the consequences. If you want to braid your hair, perhaps consider private schools that allow it. Thank you.
You should have been here so that you feel all these. But Yaira, as I was saying, there is a very worrying, disturbing video trending today, and everyone is talking about it. It's a man who is allegedly described as a military officer in civilian clothes, and he assaulted a drugstore attendant and a female customer. And they were at the pharmacy in Burma camp, and it was caught on CCTV camera. Can we have the video so that our viewers get to know what we are talking about? And it has raised concerns. I mean, a military man.
That's the video.
Yeah, military man assaulting. It doesn't have the sound, so I think we can be talking. Wow. So I think he went there to get a refund of money, I think 65 Ghana cedis. He purchased a drug and he wanted to return the drug and take back his money. And the lady said the shop, they don't allow refunds and that kind of thing. And the kind of slaps he gave the lady.
Oh, why are you so violent?
You said a military man?
Alleged.
But
Alleged.
he's been picked up today, this morning. He's actually a military man. Yeah,
That's been confirmed.
He's really a military man.
He's been picked up from the Burma camp.
Okay, I think the video has ended now.
Yeah. So we,
I think let me say my part. It's so bad, Yaira. Why the amount in question is
65 Ghana
cedis.
Okay, well, it's still money.
Yes, some might say it's insignificant. Others will say it's significant. When it comes to auditing will tell you that it's not. I forgot. When I remember, I will tell you. But an amount will look significant to the person, or insignificant to the person. No, maybe some might be like the only money they have is 65 Ghana cedis, but that does not. Let's put that does not justify that you need to go ahead to
double
beat someone like this, because when you go to some shops, some pharmacy, some places, they've written it there. Goods bought are not returnable.
Yes, returnable.
It is written there.
Something on credit is also not allowed.
Yes, if credits come tomorrow, goods bought are not returnable. So if this thing is written there boldly, that doesn't mean that the person does not read. That doesn't mean the person does not read. And when you read that, so he said that he sent a kid to go buy the medicine. But when you want to return it, you kill
yourself.
So why will you do that?
Because you're a military man. You have a title, a military man.
You wait. I don't want us to bring the issue of military man.
No.
Even if he's not a military man, he's an ordinary person. You shouldn't do that.
Yes, you come with the child and indicates that maybe the child didn't pronounce the medicine they wanted properly, and so you want to change it. This is what you actually wanted or something. But to assault somebody to this point...
This thing is happening in places that we don't know. This one has now come up, and we are now seeing this thing happen. But that should tell you that what happens to this person in the house.
His
wife and kids.
Why are you all taking the issues from me?
A very violent man.
Yeah, Mimi, relax. What does this person do in the house to the children?
You know, the person didn't even enter. It's a very lengthy video, but I think they've shot it.
Just like short.
He followed the woman outside, dealt with her, and came back and dealt with the attendant.
The manner in which this man dealt with this woman should be the same manner.
He should be dealt with. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, right. The issue of defilement you raised, they'll send you to prison and.
It should be treated the same way. Yes,
he should.
But now let's come to the military thing. If he's truly a military man,
which he is,
this now becomes
there's a video
stain
that shows that
on the white of the military. This is a very big stain because now we question what are the kinds of people in this military. I mean, growing up, we used to hear that when you go to the military, they'll slap you.
Yeah.
And now this is what we are seeing. Yeah. Even if it's not true, somebody in Ghana's military is behaving this way. Yeah. What does that say? There was also conversation about the caliber of people to be recruited into the army and whatnot. And this is what we are seeing.
So for some time, I think we've not heard negative news
reports
from the military. I mean, growing up, we used to fear them. There is this kind of fear that comes
that they are disciplined people. And this is not how a disciplined person acts.
Maybe in his way, that's the discipline. I mean,
he should be disciplined equally and understand that he's being disciplined.
I'm getting some messages here. And the first question is, did you know what happened before the incident?
We don't need to know.
It does not justify such.
I'm coming.
You can't slap a woman. I mean,
slap a person to start with.
So the question is, were you aware of what happened or what triggered his beatings? Yeah, sometimes we know that some shop attendants or whatsoever can be very annoying. They can be when I sent a case 65 Ghana, so we were that kind of cheeky answers. We understand, but that does not justify this action. That does not justify this action. No matter what happened, no matter what the shop attendant tells you, sometimes there are some of us, you go to the supermarket, you go to the shop to buy something, and sometimes when the attendant see you, you're dressing, and how they would relate with you makes you feel like you are inhuman to an extent. But in as much as they are doing all these things, should not. That's my point. It should not trigger this behavior.
Even if we understand why you did that, it still does not warrant this level of assault. And he's alleged to be named as Williams Mensah, and he was arrested. He was picked up, but I don't know if we can have that video displayed so we can see and hope that he will be given equal measure what he meted out. Can we have it displayed, please?
There have been a few interesting comments under this post. Someone said, "This is why I teach my children martial arts and they should learn how to defend themselves." So
I think this is why government is introducing military training NSS.
I would have given it to him back.
No,
but you shouldn't give it to him back. You shouldn't.
The lady was trying to remove her shoe to also defend herself because they are innocent.
Yes, so I think in order not to spoil your, I can say, won't say what's no. There's a saying saying, won't say what's no. Gently report to the video, report to the security agents, or report to the police. Let the police take up the matter, because sometimes these people can be very annoying. But when you stretch your hand to them, they'll die. Some of them, let's
because even this
sharp,
words triggered him to get angry like this, and then you
so you have a black eye. Our medical systems to problem. This black eye, you are going to pay for it. Well, I mean, it's not justified to also defend yourself, but some of these things, we also need to think about them. Like you're saying, don't touch him, he may die. But you probably don't even have money to go and cover the beatings and the pain and all of that in the hospital. What happens then?
Yeah.
The military should do something about it. It should be
happy
public
about
too.
The revelations. I mean, according to reports, the lady is the daughter of one of the army officers there.
Okay,
Big,
then
army
hopefully
officers.
her father will come.
The attendant
I think they'll take it up from there.
The attendant has also filed a
Exactly.
complaint to the cantonment police station.
Right.
They'll
Okay.
really deal with him.
So there's a Galamsey conversation too.
Yes.
People in Elmina, it's a hyphenated, about 4 different. Clement, I think you can help me with that one. Okay, so people in Elmina now are facing water issues to the point where they rely on sachet water to take their baths, to cook, and to do basic things they would have used the normal tap water. And this is because the treatment plants are unable to, process the galamsey-ridden waters, and they cannot use that anymore. So the taps have been closed. There's no water. There are certain people who haven't had their baths in 2 days and whatnot. I think there's a video on that. So let's take a look at the issue on ground.
For hours, 72-year-old Jennifer Dazi waits by the tap, the same one she's visited every morning this week. Sometimes it flows at dawn, and sometimes not at all. She does not leave, because if she does, she will miss the moment it opens. At her age, the search for water has become her daily routine. When the tap fails, she turns to sachet water, 2 sachets to rinse her cassava, 2 more to boil it, each one costing money she does not have. But what choice does she have? Grandma Jennifer's struggle is not hers alone. Across Elmina, hundreds wake up to the same search, buckets in hand, hope in heart. They all say one thing: this suffering must end.
No, when you're for wash one, into the bad way or son of pa, on your unusual buckets, no quite change. So this government is doing well for us or what? Your patrol on your nature may Central region, yellow bread or do. Why are you suffering from water to drink, water to bath? We don't like distance. So please, the man should make everything possible to the water to fall.
With the River Bra heavily polluted by illegal mining, the Setrehiman water treatment plant is struggling to draw enough raw water. The result? Rationing, shortages, and rising frustrations.
Let the water flow. That is what we need. Oba and Tebe and came with all about. Since she Oba and came with them call about. And then Sunaba, Bokiteba, as a Bokitana, no waiter. Bokitebe, no waiter. For the long simple was a waiter, no waiter, so waiter. And not if I saw a yet, yet. No, why,
We met a man moving from house to house, buckets in hand, searching for water. After several stops, he gave up, bought 3 cedis worth of sachet water, and went home to bath. 6 sachets. That's what it takes for a bath now. He did not want to speak on camera, but his silence said enough.
3 days we'll be into Mumbali. Every quarter, 2 cities. Pure water, 4. No, they go. For what?
Mabina too has not seen the bathroom today. Like many others, she's been waiting since morning, hoping the tap would open, even for a few minutes. Her last proper bath was 2 days ago.
Na bamposo kasa duwe mposi wa. Ayende no chene na beyema. Ana pem dware. Me mi dware ahomache. Me exercise nti mi dware, me exercise wi an me dware. Ti am ampa no pem dware.
Ana ye ho tete handodo ya pacho. Me yenye nsu, ye ngwan, ne yenye bi. Ya ho.
So that is the issue.
Never go wrong with the people of the central region. Amidst all seriousness, they will bring some kind of excitement, onto the face. But this is a very disturbing issue. I mean, illegal mining. We've been blowing our trumpets, not today, close to a decade. We've been talking about illegal mining affecting, the country, affecting our water bodies, and I'm surprised that a report like this is coming from the central region. Although we do not witness much of illegal mining activities in the central region, they are being affected. Their water bodies are being destroyed. And when we talk about the central region, what do we see or what do we hear or what comes next? Tourism. People go there to explore. People go there to have fun. It is a citadel of education. I mean, all the historic artifacts are all there. When people want to see what happened in Ghana, they go there. And look at what is happening.
Mimi,
I want
to be free. Asam roba na oya roho. Miss Mana, Yara Orokade. There are 4 towns or Demobono or your commander Edna Eguafo Ebrim constituency. Now, member of parliament. I think let me speak fancy for the sake in English. Sorry, I was speaking fancy. Not speaking for the sake of the audience. So the member of parliament there is Honorable Samuel Atamels. That is the brother of Professor Evans Fifi Atamels. Yeah, so he's a member of parliament there. I think he would take a critical look at this very issue. What is the cause root of this issue? Is the Galamsey. When did Galamsey started? Centuries ago. Yeah. And today we are having or facing issues like this, especially the water treatment. It's not only Heman. This is Heman water plant or water treatment, which has been affected by El Mina. Reports from Ghana Water Company have shown that a lot of water treatment plant has gone down. And as a result, it's going to have a lot of negative impact on water supply. When we talk about Sextra Heman water treatment, report from Ghana Water Company says that currently as we speak, the, let me get it right, turbidity water level is 14,000 NTU as we speak now. And Ghana needs close to 5,663,900 Ghana cedis to deal with issues of treatment of issues of sexual human. So I think we have a long way to go, and government or the, as the saying goes, that Ghana Goat Board needs, or the Ghana Water Company needs to get money as soon as possible to help solve this issue that we have in El Mina. And also, the issue of Galamsey activities, we need to solve it once and for all as a country. Today is El Mina. Tomorrow it will be another place in this very country. The next time it's not going to affect a community, it's going to affect the whole constituency. By the time we realize, it's going to be the whole region. And the question is, how many people can afford sachet water? Listen to the old woman. She used 2 sachet water to wash. She was washing just plantain and cassava. Opeso di fufu. Ne fufu no opeso di nusu. Onya no enkwan mpono. Although the sachet water not the oze yankwan. So these are the issues I think we need to look at.
People even start questioning food vendors. How do you get water to cook?
The only thing that comes to mind,
where do they get the sachet water from?
Yes, that's what comes to mind right now. That
is it from
how long till the sachet water also now becomes, Galamsey water, the bottled water companies, all of that. How long till it gets there?
Yeah.
And we think, we are here, we say we are doing something, we think it's not affecting somebody, but look at what's happening. Like you said, Galamsey is not exactly in the central region, but they are reaping the effects.
And the Central Region and Greater Accra Region, we are just like this.
Yes. And it's happened because when it goes to the Praso, they are doing it. River Pra, we've talked about River Pra from Dabuasi, it flows to Biposo, it flows. You see, those parts, like, I know that. So when you see things like this, it's very heartbreaking. Yeah?
It's very, very heartbreaking. Also, soon our time is up. We should have talked about the Galamsey earlier and spent more time with this conversation. But yes, Nikaka said we need to end Galamsey now, not within the shortest possible time. And this brings us to the online and print review. Clement, please.
Oh, yes. I just want to say that Justice Bafo Boni is going to be vetted on the 10th November.
Okay.
Just a breaking news here.
Right. So thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. Up next is the sports segment with Benedict Nkitia-Kwarteng. Please do stay tuned. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for sports with Benedict Nkitia-Kwarteng. He's going to be bringing us all the updates and news with regards to local and international sports. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Yara, good morning.
So, what's up? What's happening? I mean, we spoke about EPL somewhere last week or last 2 weeks.
Yes. So, it's been a great week. It's been a great weekend. On Tuesday, we spoke about the El Clasico that happened on Sunday, and then Of course, yesterday, there was the EFL Cup. That was a local competition for the English League, English Premier League. And then one of the unfortunate results that happened was Crystal Palace playing against Liverpool. And unfortunately, Liverpool losing. This is the fourth time they've lost to Crystal Palace this year. And then it's quite heartbreaking for Liverpool fans. Yes, we know. I was part of the people who were saying that Liverpool, they're going to be exposed very soon, but then this is quite heartbreaking. But I was following a news review, a report by Mikel Obi, former Chelsea and Nigerian player, and he was talking about the performances of Liverpool. Okay. And then he drew my mind to something. He drew my mind to the players being affected by the death of one of their colleagues, that is Diogo Jota.
Yeah.
And from the discussion, from the interview he was having, I think it makes sense not to create excuses for the team, for the coach's performance and all that. But then I just decided to cast my mind back to the performance of the team then and then now, and then looking at the period where they lost their colleague. Yeah. And then I realized that in a way it makes sense. I feel like the death of Diogo Jota has affected the team very much, especially Salah. Because Salah used to be a top player before this event, but then after this incident, Salah has declined. His gameplay has become something else. So I don't know. We can't blame the coach. Yes, the coach, he plays a major role. The tactics he played yesterday against Crystal Palace was very poor. I mean, we are not coaches. We haven't gone for coaching courses, but there are certain changes, certain strategies you put up against certain teams. Even we, the viewers, we can tell that this is wrong. And when I look at the starting lineup, I ask myself, this man, what is he doing? Because this is the same team that you've lost to the team 3 times in a row this year. So you had no reason to play this starting lineup because they have the upper hand against you. Crystal Palace this season, in other games, they've lost about 4 games. So coming into this game, they knew, Liverpool is a team that we score. So they knew they were coming to win. So it was up to you as a coach to bring the wild card, play better than this. But then,
so I think I would like to ask, as an institution, were they given some time to grieve the loss of their colleague?
Yes. So when you go to Anfield, the stadium, they created a monument over there for their lost colleague, the fallen colleague, where they talk about him and all that. Yeah, but I mean, it's part of the things. It's just something I wanted to just put across. But let me go on to our stories for today. Right. Let me start with our local stories. That has to do with the Black Queens winning against Egypt on 7-0 on aggregate. So
7.
Yes.
Hey, then the Black Queens are doing well.
Yes, they are doing very well. They went to Egypt last week and then they won 3-0. And then on Tuesday at Accra Sports Stadium, they scored 4-0. So we have the highlights. We'll display it on our screen so that viewers can also enjoy it.
Santos play to the right side, searching for Mafo.
Was on your screen, the highlights of the game on Tuesday. When you analyze the game very well, the Egyptians, the Cleopatras of Egypt, they decided to start with a low block, a defensive game. But of course, Kim Las and then his strategy with Doris Bouadoua and then Comfort Yeboah decided to come back and then give us some goals for this game. And congratulations to them for qualifying for the WAFCON WAFCON competition, women's competition. I think this is also a means for them to get into the World Cup. Yes, I think so. Yes. So this is. I'm glad we were able to qualify with this number of goals. But then let's move on to the next story, which has to do with their bonuses being paid for the ladies. Qualifying for this competition, winning this game on Tuesday, actually opened the floodgates for their monies to come in. We spoke about this on Tuesday, about their bonuses not being paid. But after the game, the sports minister, in an interview, confirmed that their checks have been given to them. The ladies are going to receive their bonuses. They've been paid that very moment, right after the game against Egypt. So I think it's good news for Ghanaians, it's good news for our ladies, good news for the Black Queens. They have an upcoming game in December. They are facing England. In just a friendly competition. England is the European champions. So they are playing in December against England, just in preparation for the WAFCON competition, which is coming off next year in Morocco. Like I said, they've also qualified for the Women's World Cup, which will be held in Brazil. So I think our ladies they're on the right path. Let us continue to support them. The support at the Accra Sports Stadium on Tuesday, it wasn't that massive. The support was there. It wasn't that massive, but then I think we can still do better. We can do better. The propagation is the problem. We need to sell the women's football out there. We need to get people on board. We need to get people to invest into our women's football and all that. Let's move on to our international story that has to do with Turkey. Yes, for our investors out there, the investment stories has hit Turkey. So Turkey officials, hundreds of Turkish officials found with betting accounts. So this is a story that has hit the waves, the news out there, because in Turkey, the officials out there have been caught with having betting accounts. So it's not only us who are interested in investing, but Turkey, yes, risk analysis, yes. Turkey officials. According to FIFA rules, FIFA laws, football officials, footballers, their coaches, their coaching staff, and all those people are not supposed to be taking part in this betting stuff because of how they can manipulate the games. You get it? So it makes sense that this rule has been given out. But in Turkey, they have about 571 match officials in Turkey. And out of the 571 match officials, 371 have been caught with having accounts with betting companies. So it's only 200 who are safe, allegedly. Let's put it that way, because investigations are still ongoing. But out of the 571, we have 371 officials with betting accounts. And this is quite huge, because it goes a long way for players and for teams, for people out there to question what is the accounts they have, is it affecting the results of the games that they've been officiating? Because if I'm officiating a match and I've staked a bet that this team will win, definitely it will affect my judgment. It will affect my work as an official, that I have to be neutral and make sure things are going on well. So investigations are still ongoing. It was found out that only 42 out of the 371 had bet more than 1,000 football matches. So 42 out of the 371 officials had bet more than 1,000 games. One official had placed 18,227 bets. Just one official. So you can see that these people they really mean business. And for investors out there who have been following football, especially Turkish football, like myself, sometimes it's mind-boggling. It's you watch a game and you see the results and you are wondering how is this happening? What is happening? And it is difficult to fish out if there is any corrupt results in the game because of how professional they are. But sometimes you sit down and then you analyze the game from the first minute to the 90th minute, and you see that there is something wrong with the game, just that you don't have any evidence for anything. So you just have to
this
continue.
Could be a reason.
Yes. So this could be a reason. The officials, they are still being investigated, and hopefully by the end of the day, by the end of the week, we'll get to know the results out of this disciplinary regulations that has been ruled out, and we see what will happen to these officials. Let me move on to my final story for the day. That is has to do with my rival, that is Real Madrid. One of their players, one of their prolific players, Vinicius Jr., apologizing to the Real Madrid fans, the Madristas. So on Sunday, Vinicius Jr. was substituted around the 70-something minutes during the Clasico game, and then he dashed out of the stadium. He was angry, he was showing some gestures, he was saying some things, and then he went to the tunnel. Later on, he came back to the bench, he came to sit down, but Vinicius was very angry, he was very furious. He made some statements. Why always me? Why always me? I'm leaving the club. I mean, he was very angry because he was being substituted. And honestly, as a football fan, I think Vinicius being substituted was unfair because he was having a very good game. Some football analysts are saying that it was because his girlfriend was around, his girlfriend was watching him. So Vinicius was actually having a very good game on Sunday, and he wasn't supposed to be substituted, but that the coach knows what is best for the team, and then Xabi Alonso, he knows what is best for the team, and then he took Vinicius out and he brought in other players to come and also show what they can do. His team won 2-1 against Barcelona. I mean, he being substituted didn't really affect the game because at the end of the day, the team still won. But because of the gestures he made, some people, some football analysts, his coach, the coaching staff, the team members were a bit offended. So Vinicius, on the training ground yesterday, he apologized to his colleagues, and then also he came back to X to post his apology. Let me just go through his apology. So he said, "Today I want to apologize to all the Madristas for my reaction when I was substituted in the Clasico. Just as I have already done in person during today's training, I also want to apologize again to my teammates, the club, and the president. Sometimes passion gets the better of me because I always want to win and help my team. My competitive character stems from the love I feel for this club and everything it represents." With this little story he has given, any football fan will see it in quotes as rubbish. Let me put it that way. Vinicius, this is how you are, my brother. This is how you are. Anytime you are substituted, you throw around tantrums like a kid. So it's not new seeing you do this. This excuse you are giving is not really it. But then, of course, it's you. And then we have to just hear what you have to say and then take it. So I know we'll forgive him. Football fans out there, the Madristas out there will forgive him and all that. And then he'll continue to play. He made a statement that he wanted to leave Real Madrid, but I don't think he meant it. It was just out of anger. It was just out of anguish. So, yeah. That is it.
Then tell him to watch Koko Digest today. Motivational quotes is something that he would have taken. He should go back and examine his life and then, change his ways.
I'll tag him on X so that he will look at it and maybe he will change from it. But then I don't think anybody can change Vinicius. He is who he is, and this is what makes him unique. This is what makes us talk about him. We don't have anything else to talk about him apart from the way he plays and his character.
Right.
So congratulations to them once again for winning their game against Barcelona on Sunday. And his character, he should go on with it. We will take it like that. So far as he's winning, we are okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it for the sports update segment. Thank you very much for having me here. Before I end, let me just send a birthday wish to the CEO of Hedge Pensions Trust, Mr. Boache. Happy birthday to you, sir. And of course, to my mother, Madam Isabella Evans-Kwedu. Happy birthday to you. She's the manager for the Service Experience Center, also at Hedge Pensions Trust. Happy birthday to you, mommy. Happy birthday to you, sir. May God bless you guys and have a wonderful day.
Right. Thank you so much. So then that leads us into the birthday segment, as he has already started with 2 birthdays. So let's have the birthdays displayed.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
It's time to celebrate the birthday celebrants of the month of October this weekend, maybe even next week. So let's have our first birthday displayed. So this one is saying, happy birthday to an unyielding oak rooted deep in our working storms, heart's eternal health glow, where every weary soul warms, mother weaver of golden threads, the woman who spins chaos into dawn's bright loom. May joy cascade over you like starlit rivers through your boundless year ahead. Happy birthday, Mrs. Isabella Evans-Kwedu, from your son, Benedict Nketia Kwating. That was a very beautiful wish. It's from our very own Benedict here. The next one is saying, happy birthday, my dearest Carl, Ghana's finest MC. May your day be filled with laughter, cake, and unforgettable adventures. Cheers to another fabulous year ahead. And this one is from Mimi. Benedict, will you take the next one? All right. Okay, so I'm getting whether that's the last birthday wish. Thank you so much for sending in your birthday wishes to us. Please do send them whenever you can. Celebrate your loved ones. Now, it's time for the business segment with Clement Yabankwe. So if you want to know what's going on, the stock exchange, the markets, everything, please do stay tuned for the business segments that's up next.
good morning. Welcome to the Business Update segment. I am Clement Yabankwe. Now, on to our stories. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has projected a significant drop in petroleum prices at Ghanaian pumps starting November 1, 2025. According to their latest reports, petrol prices may decrease up by 5.2%, lowering the price to approximately 12 Ghana cedis 92 pesos from 13 Ghana cedis 93 pesos. Diesel is expected to fall between 6% and 8%. That is to result in 13 Ghana cedis 10 pesos, down from 14 Ghana cedis 56 pesos. And LPG could see a reduction of up to 6.63%, resulting in a price of about 13 Ghana cedis 60 pesos per kilogram. If implemented by all 200 plus oil marketing companies, this would be the largest price drop in 2025 and a historic double-digit reduction within a month, as some companies may start adjusting price this weekend. Away from that, now on to our second story. As of August 2025, the private sector credit to GDP gap in Ghana remained negative, reaching an all-time low. As reported by Bank of Ghana in its September monetary policy reports, this gap reflects macro-financial risks, with a negative value indicating that private sector credit is below its long-term trend.
The Central Bank emphasizes the need for measures to enhance credit delivery to stimulate the economy. Conversely, the banking sector's stability has improved, with the banking sector soundness index surpassing long-term averages and approaching pre-DDEP levels. This improvement is attributed to better solvency, adequate liquidity, and strong earnings. Although the non-performing loans ratio has slightly improved, it remains high, but ongoing microeconomic recovery efforts aim to further enhance asset quality by managing non-performing loans.
Now, on Electricity Company of Ghana, the ECG is reviewing all major contracts, including its partnership with Hubtel, to enhance compliance with the Public Financial Management Act. Acting Managing Director Julius Pepena stated that a legal consultant has been engaged to ensure these agreements meet legal standards.
The PFM Act requires ECG to collect revenues at gross value, meaning no deductions before funds are transferred. Pepena explained that Hubtel must settle payments at gross, handling mobile money and card fees before invoicing ECG. This arrangement may lead to the additional cost for ECG. Recently, ECG reduced Hubtel's commission from 3% to 1.65% as part of efficiency measures, highlighting the importance of the partnership in advancing the digital payment system in Ghana.
Thank you for staying with us for the Business Update segment. I am Clement Yabamkwe. Do enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show here on Clock TV. That beautiful song was, a French song that is talking about cancer, survivors. And when we are talking about cancer, we are talking about breast cancer because we are in the month of October and we are ending the month of October with some education and information on breast cancer awareness. So good morning and welcome to our lifestyle segment here on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Today, we are shedding light on a topic that affects millions across the world. I'm talking about breast cancer, but from a different lens. Our conversation is titled Breast Cancer Has No Gender, Breaking the Silence on Both Genders. Now, many people still believe breast cancer is a woman-only disease, but the truth is men can also be affected. Sadly, many men don't speak up or even realize they can, be at risk. Joining me in the studio this morning, we have two amazing guests. We have Mr. Osei Emmanuel Kofi, a senior nursing officer at Korle Teaching Hospitals, surgical department, and we also have Miss Elsie Sally Nah. She's a nurse, breast cancer survivor, and an advocate who also is the founder of Medcare Hub. So let's get straight into that. But let me remind you that we are streaming live on Facebook and also on YouTube. You can get interactive with us. Send your comments, your questions to our streaming platforms and also to our WhatsApp number, and would gladly read them out. We are ending the month of October, and this is an opportunity for you to ask all your questions, concerning breast cancer. Now let's get straight into meeting our guests. Hello, sir and madam.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning once again.
Good morning, my beautiful lady. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm glad you mentioned beautiful. Before we came on air, you were saying something about men, and I think I don't agree with you that men should be what? Fearfully made or what?
As a man, you don't need to be so nice. You don't have beautiful men. Beauty is only
for women.
To ladies or for women. So a man at least should be ugly, fearful. And sometimes even smelling. You have that kind of masculine part of your life. If a man is too nice, you are too smelling good.
You are not a man.
You are not a man.
A man must smell bad.
Of course.
Anyways, you're welcome. We are talking about breast cancer. Let me start with you before we get to our survivor.
Right, sure.
When we talk about breast cancer, we are starting all over. What exactly are we talking about? Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Breast cancer, just like any other cancer. So I'll start by telling us what a cancer is.
Okay.
Cancer is just an overgrowth of cells, abnormal overgrowth of cells, meaning that as we are growing day in, day out, our cells divide. There's mitosis, there's meiosis, that one, I don't want us to go there.
Yeah.
So as they are dividing, it helps us to grow because they multiply in their numbers. So maybe in every 60 days, 90 days, we get our red blood cells, our white blood cells being multiplied, and then the old ones will die off, new ones will come in replacement. So when there is one thing or the other which doesn't go on really well in our system, the cells overgrow abnormally, which is not normal.
Okay.
So that is what causes the part of the body where the cells are growing abnormally is what can be termed as that type of cancer. So when that part of the body is your nose, you get a nose cancer, which you have a medical term for, which is your breast, you have a breast cancer. If it's your lung, you have a lung cancer. Every part of your body, if it's about your stomach, called a gastric cancer or a tumor. So cancer is just an abnormal growth or overgrowth of cells. So when it is in the breast, it becomes a breast cancer. So when the cells in your breast outgrows their number abnormally, we have a breast cancer.
Okay, so since we are talking about breast, and men also have breasts, but we do not see the breast growing, how does, they also develop, or how do they develop breast cancer? Since we do not see their breast growing physically.
All right, that's an interesting question. We all have breasts, just that your own just come out whilst during puberty days.
Yeah.
So you remember when we were in GHS, or when we were learning about puberty, the changes. We know that the ladies rather develop bigger breasts in that region. But men, we all have the same anatomy, we all have the same physiology, meaning that we all have the same genetic makeup. You understand? So whatever happens to a woman will definitely happen to a man. Just that your own is just very visible for everybody to see. That's how come it is obvious that when we talk about breast, the first idea that comes in mind will be about women. Because we are men, we also have breasts. So anything that will affect a woman's breast can also affect a man. Just that it is because your breast is being used for its natural purpose.
Yeah.
That is how come you people are always prone to it. You have high risk of it. It doesn't mean that men also cannot have breast cancer.
By natural purposes, you mean breastfeeding?
All right. So
of kids.
I don't know your next question for me, but if I can jump into it, you know, the reason why it is mostly common in women, it is because at a point in time, your breast has its natural purpose, or it's the main reason why God created it. So one of the risk factors, as and when it is not being used, you understand, you may be at risk for it.
Used as in?
The breast is supposed to be fed. Like, it has to get to a point whereby
you breastfeed.
You breastfeed.
So in situations where you are not giving birth, what happens to you? Because your breast is not being used. Or someone has to use it.
A woman at age, let's say 40 to 50, who has never given birth, who has never breastfed any baby before, will have a higher chance or will be at a higher risk of developing a breast cancer as compared to somebody who has given birth and has breastfed the children for some time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that is one.
Okay. And is that a reason why advocates say that women should allow their partners to, you know, be massaging the breast and also feed their husbands, you know, with the... I'm just trying to understand, because in situations where a woman is not using the breast, as you just said, which I know it is not just for babies, but men also tend to fantasize around it. Is that a very legit
okay, I read from one aspect. I've forgotten who the person was. But she was saying that a man feeding on the breast will not cause you not to get breast cancer.
Okay.
There is no reason for that. I don't think there's any scientific proof that when a man plays with your breast or sucks your breast, because there's no breast milk in there. During child development, when you are pregnant, when you take seed, all the things that come into factor, there will be a time whereby your estrogen, your progesterone, and other hormones in you will just send a message to your brain to tell you that there's something developing in you. So with that, when the developed thing that is inside you comes out, it will be fed with something, and that thing comes from you. So once you have conceived, once you have delivered, the brain will send impulses to the breast, the mammary glands, to tell you that it has to secrete it. So there's something we call the suckling reflex from a baby. Once a baby comes out, and then the mouth is put on the nipple, automatically when the baby starts sucking the nipples, the milk will come out. So when a man is sucking the breast, there's no breast milk coming. So that doesn't mean, it's just for the foreplay, just for the fun of it.
Okay.
That is it.
So it means if you allow a man to play with your breast, it is not going to stop you from getting breast cancer.
Sometimes, most of the ladies don't know themselves very well.
Okay.
So me, per my own point of view, the main thing that will be a benefit of the man playing or sucking the breast will be because most women don't know themselves.
Okay.
They don't know how the size of their breast, whether there's a lump in it, whether there's a discharge in it or not. So as at the time of the foreplay or during the time the man is being with the lady, most men, those who are very, very active in whatever they are doing, they know their whereabouts, they will be able to identify that particular changes in it.
Okay. Okay. Well said. Let me come to you, Madam Elsie. You are a survivor. The first time you were diagnosed, did it come to you as a surprise?
Yeah, thanks for the question. So, not a surprise, because I've nursed patients with breast cancer, and I've seen close friends losing their lives through breast cancer. So it wasn't a surprise, but because it can happen to me, but it was like I was in denial. Like it couldn't be me.
Yeah.
As for surprise means that, I am not at risk. But this one, it was like, it can't be true.
It can't be true.
Yes, it can't be true because I do regular self-examination. I don't have any family history.
Yeah.
I breastfed all 5 kids.
Oh, you had your kids before you were diagnosed?
I had my kids. I'm not obese. I'm not into excessive drinking and smoking. I had my first period not too early at age 13. So for me, I thought I was above the bar. So it came as a shock. And I was in denial for a while. But I had to accept the reality and accept the treatment.
So from what you've said, you've stated, I mean, almost all the risk factors that you were not eligible.
Yeah.
But in one way or the other, you still got diagnosed. So what was the exact, cause?
Cancer doesn't have a cause.
Okay.
So we say we can't prevent it, but when it comes, it can be cured. And this risk factors just means that you are susceptible. So for me, I could say that science could only say that because I was a woman, because I was aging, and even the age, shall we say, after age 45, 50, but I had it at age 35. So it doesn't really follow the rule like that. So and after everything, the pathology report stated that the tumor was caused by my normal estrogen hormones. Okay, so maybe because I was a woman and I was my reproductive year and I was aging, that could be the only reason.
Yeah. But why do you think breast cancer is still seen as a woman-only disease? I mean, is it that the campaign is low, we don't talk about it, that men can also, get breast cancer? I know you were a nurse, so you have some scientific background. If you could just...
So my brother here has touched a bit about it, because we develop the breast and because we are women, because our estrogen hormone is always high than the men. We all have the same estrogen and testosterone, but as we grow, ours is at the peak. So that is what makes us more prone to having it. But the awareness is still on, and I think it's doing a great job. It is watering down the information that everyone is at risk. I say that everyone should learn how to do a self-breast exam because it's a life skill that will help you to navigate through life. So our men, they also gradually getting to understand that they are also at risk.
We'll come to the self-examination. You will demonstrate to us. But let me come back to Mr. Osei.
All right, sure.
How common is breast cancer in men, since you're a man?
Okay. Worldwide, breast cancer is one of the leading cause of death among women. Okay. But in Ghana, I don't think we are no exception. Okay. It also happened to us. It's not really common though, as we take 100 women in the percentage-wise, about 98% of them will have the breast cancer, and then only 2, or even less than 2%, or even say 1%. Yeah. So the reason why most men don't have breast cancer or don't know that they can get breast cancer is because, one, it is perceived that, as my sister said, it is only women who have developed their breast in a larger way. Just that the estrogen and the progesterone and other hormones in them rather works more in women more than in men. And then also, breast cancer awareness, most of the times, is only given to women. You said that women, free screening for women. So there's gender bias. Yeah. Most of the time, they leave the men out of it, forgetting that men can also develop breast cancer. So fast forward, what we can do is that anytime we're having a campaign, we should also involve men. In any institution, you'll be called to go and have breast screening for ladies or for the women. They will neglect the men.
Yeah.
You understand?
Let me just come in. I think that men don't see themselves as eligible to have breast cancer. I mean, we all know it's a woman thing. So the first time you tell someone that, oh, we're having screening, please come and let's screen, they'll just hold their chest like, but I don't have breast. So because their breasts don't develop, they always think they are not. Yeah. As for the education, we are always in the recent years, we always involve the men. It's your gender who don't want to come for the screen because they feel that they don't have breasts. But everybody,
I think I agree with you because recently we even had a breast cancer awareness program down there at the auditorium, and it was just ladies. The men were not concerned. They didn't really show up, even though we kept saying that men can equally get, breast cancer.
Did you involve the men? Did you invite them?
We did.
I don't think we did that. Most of the times, they will do the campaign, breast cancer, Pink October. And because the time is, I would say, it's limited, we don't have to wait until October before we create the awareness. It has to start from January to December. Because breast cancer doesn't occur only in October.
Yeah.
At any point in time when we are supposed to get it, you will get it. That's it.
I see. Now let's look at the risk factors for men too. Our lady mentioned a few for women. I don't know if it happens in both genders, but if we have specifics for men.
She rightly said that cancer doesn't really have a cause.
Okay.
But we only consider the risk factors. So somebody may be at risk of, or if we have about 10 risk factors, somebody may be prone to all the risk factors, but that person will not have that type of cancer. You'll be there free-minded. You don't expose yourself to any ionization. You don't expose yourself to radiation. Like women, those who have early onset of menstruation, and then the fact that you are a woman, being the female gender, you are also at risk of it. And then those who are aging from say 50, 60 thereabout. But she said she was 35 years when she was diagnosed of it. And then those who have a late stage of menopause. These things were in the past, but as of now, things are changing. So as cancer don't really have a cause, breast cancer may not also have a cause, but you may be at risk and then you'll be prone to have it.
So I want to know what men should also see. I mean, the risk factors associated to men, just men, or we don't have that?
There is genetics, as is in women. When you have your first or second or even third generation parents, who or the aunties or uncles or whoever that might have suffered that type of cancer, you may also be at risk of it. And then the fact that you are aging, the fact that you are just a human being, you have breast, the fact that you have that thing there, possibly you may be at risk to it.
And I would like to add something. There's a condition called galactomastia in men where their estrogen hormones are a little bit up than the normal man, so they are a bit more predisposed. I've seen 2 male breast cancer survivors, and they all look a little bit chubby with a little feminine features. So those ones are probably, I don't know whether in their case they had that condition where their estrogen was a little bit more. But on the other side now, it is sporadic. Like it can happen to anybody. You know, at first, for you to have a twin pregnancy, you should have one in your family, blah, blah. But now everyone is having twin pregnancy. You have artificial twins and everything. So things have evolved. And I think that the watchword is that we should all be proactive with our health.
Speaking about proactiveness, you being a nurse and also a survivor, you might have seen a few signs and symptoms that people can look out for, you know, to tell that I've started developing some signs of breast cancer. So can you walk us through some of the signs and symptoms so that we can be very proactive?
Okay, so first of all, you should know your breast for yourself. So that is the essence of the self-breast examination. So when you are looking at the inspection, when you look at your breast, what do you see? The breast, one is a little bit bigger than the other, but not the size is not so extinct. So you should know which one is a little bit bigger than the other.
But with that, is that not natural?
Yeah, it's natural.
It's natural. Okay.
Yeah, so when you know that, then you know when one becomes more bigger than the other. And when you undress, your breast is supposed to be very symmetrical, like on the same plane. So when one begins to fall than the other, then it's also a sign. Look at the skin of the breast. It's supposed to be a very soft and smooth gland. So when you begin to see changes that is very thick, like the skin of an orange with dots on it, you have to be alarmed. If the skin is shiny, like you have a boil at one part, you have to be alarmed. If it's an itchy and scaly area, you have to be alarmed. Now you look at if it has a dimpling effect. This one, you don't have a dimple in your cheek, but the dimple is in your breast. You have to be alarmed because it looks like there's something bigger pulling it from the inside. Now you look at the nipple. Every nipple, or normally the nipple should be out, should be pointing outward. So if naturally your nipples are out and eventually one begins to divert in or be inverted, you have to be alarmed. Now, when it comes to the palpation, it's not every breast cancer that presents as a lump. We have types that present as inflammatory breast cancer and even podorange. So aside the lump that you're looking for, you're also feeling for pain. You're looking at discharges from the nipple, and also those are some of the signs that you look out for. And also lymph nodes. We don't really talk about the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are part of the circulatory system, and they drain excess fluid from the tissues and the blood. So, and the ones closest to the breast are on the collarbone, the neck bone up and below, and also in the armpit. So when you see that you have a painless or painful swelling under your armpit or on your neck, you also have to be. So these are some of the
So
symptoms.
were there any, early symptoms you personally, noticed that you did not really pay attention to that led to a late detection?
Well, I would say mine wasn't late.
Okay.
It was very early. So I saw a painless lump. Usually the early form of cancers come as a painless lump. So if you don't do your examination, you would miss that short window of a painless lump. So it was a very small painless lump, but I had a swollen lymph node. I didn't do the examination to my armpit to actually feel it. It was seen on ultrasound. That is one of the things, the mistakes we do during breast exams. We don't really go into our armpits and we don't really check our neck. So I had a small painless lump and also 2 large lymph nodes. Those were the only symptoms I had.
Okay. Did you have something to add to what she has said?
Oh, I think she said it.
Then let's look at the self-examination. How do we self-examine to check for, lumps and other things in our breasts?
Okay, so first of all, for a woman, because we say that everyone is at risk, for men and those who are in their menopause, who are not having their periods, you just take one day in a month. You can choose your birth date, you can choose the day you get your pensions money, or even the first day of the month, so that you can do this examination. But for the other category of women who are in their reproductive years and they are having their periods regularly, they have to do it 5 to 7 days after their last flow.
Okay.
So that is the period that we all have to do it. Now, how do we do it? With the knowledge of the science that I have shared earlier, you undress, both men and women, you undress, make sure you are seeing yourself in a mirror or a reflective substance, so you can now inspect to see all the signs I spoke about. Now you go ahead to palpate. So how do we palpate? If your breasts are heavy, it's advisable that you lie down so that the breast thins out. But if it's small, you can stand or sit. So you raised both hands up in the air. The nipple is supposed to move simultaneously together. So once you raise your hand up high, you are watching your nipples move. Now you are also looking at the size of the breast. You hold your hand, put your hand on your waist, you turn to the side and look at the other side of your breast in the reflective object. You do that for the other side. Now for those who are busty, you just put your hands on your waist, you bend forward and you shake yourself a bit. What you are doing is that you want the breast to flow freely. That is how the breast is supposed to flow freely. So if it feels heavy, doesn't swing, then you know there will be something wrong. Now we put one hand behind our head with the other arm using the flat side of the fingers, not the tips, not the palm. This flat side, that is more sensitive. So you start from the armpit to look for the lymph nodes. You come to the collarbone. Now you go to the tail of the breast, which starts from the armpit as well. So with a gentle circular massage, pressing hard towards the chest wall, you go around, not this one like you are needed. So just gentle massage down, yes.
Okay.
Yes, so all around. So you imagine your breast being like that of a mosquito coil. You go around till you end at the nipple. And one important thing is to always press the nipple to see if there will be a discharge. If you are not breastfeeding, you're not supposed to have a discharge. Whether you get a clear fluid, a cloudy, or a bloody discharge, they all need to be investigated. So you repeat this. You repeat the procedure
on the other side.
Yes. And
Okay.
you are good to.
You are
There's
good to
something. There's a kind of song we can use to.
Okay.
Check is look, and also check can also be your paycheck.
Okay.
So check before you check check before you. So you check before you go out to get your paycheck.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning. You what? You inspect, palpate, and express. Charlie, check. So
wow, can you say that again?
Okay.
In a more rhythmic way.
Check before you check. Check before you check. I wake up in the morning. I inspect. I palpate. I express. Charlie, check.
Hey.
So
Charlie, check.
Charlie, check.
Check.
So that is basically how you do the self-examination. If you are not too comfortable, you just go to any health facility. You do
but
that.
can somebody do it for you? I mean, when you were doing it, I was just feeling some way like can somebody do it?
Oh yes. So that's when we have the clinical examination. Like that's what we do once every year in October. But you can always get your partner to check for you. So everybody needs to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So our partners can help us to do it. And a nurse or a doctor or any clinician can also do it.
I can even offer to help. I'm an expert in it. I'm a very good expert.
How many women will allow
if
you
you're
to
not
do
comfortable and you want me to help you get it done, I will do it for you.
Okay, we'll come.
Free of charge.
But will you also do it for men? If
I will
they
do
come?
for men. Okay. I think the women would rather do for the men. I want to do for
the men love the women to do it for them, but the women don't love the men to do it for them.
It makes us uncomfortable.
What is uncomfortable about this one?
But I've heard that many men do not want to come up to say that they have signs and symptoms. Is it that their campaign is also very low, or the education is not men inclusive enough?
All right. So in my research, I did a research on health-seeking behaviors. So the health-seeking behavior, you know that most women attend to health facilities more than men.
Yeah.
The reasons are because, one, men are the breadwinners.
They don't have time.
We don't have time for ourselves. Because most of we have to go and make money to come and put food on the table. So if I'm having some pains, I'll just visit any pharmacy or a drugstore, or I just go and get a baby drew.
I beg to differ. Women are also breadwinners in some homes.
Yes.
But I think that the man's anatomy, like you said, the man has to be fearful, ugly, and all this. So a man feels like, no, I can shoulder anything. I can max my pain. I can just.
But this is cancer.
Yeah. But so naturally, men don't really pay attention to their skin. They don't really.
Yeah, so that's where I was coming to. I'm trying to say that when a man feels a lump or some pain in the breast, and a woman at the same time, the woman will want to go to the hospital or even talk to a healthcare provider.
Yes.
But the man, because of this kind of
ego
we have, we may try to ignore and go about our own day. It doesn't mean that when they have cancer, I'm not saying when they have cancer, when they are showing the signs, the early signs, they may not pay much attention to it. Rather, they may go to their normal duties. But the women will rather go. You know, women, we always pamper you ladies. So what we do is, maybe baby, I have this. But the man, how can you come to a woman and be telling her that? You understand?
Yeah. So how can you make the education more men inclusive?
That is what we are doing now. But most of the times, breast cancer awareness shows will only feature the women. The nurses, the midwives, even the doctors, the female nurses. But today I'm here as a male. So if you involve us, it will create more. When I'm coming, for example, I'll share the link with my friends, so they should know that the breast cancer is not only affecting women, but rather it affects men. So the education shouldn't be only male, female bias. It should also involve the men as well.
Yeah,
that's it.
Elsie, you have also been in the health sector. Do you think the men are often shy? Like they are shy. They don't want to, they don't want to show you their chests.
As for a man showing a woman his chest, it's not difficult as compared to a woman showing her chest to the man. But I think that the education is not out there too much, and they don't really know. So even though sometimes you try to coerce them to come, they don't even feel the need for coming. But it's my prayer that as the years go by, gradually the education will be more to water down the need for even men. I'm yet to see men queuing in or sitting in queues to get their.
But do you think there are some specific challenges, hindering them from coming out to say? No,
it's just the fact that they don't think. I mean, it's so if we say 1% of men. That it's so far from me, it can never happen to me, and all this while. But gradually, it's getting better.
You earlier said something about 2 men that were diagnosed, and you said they had chubby body.
Yeah,
so indirectly, are you saying men with, some men have
developed some breasts.
Yeah.
So they are even more susceptible.
Oh,
than
okay. Like our camera guy. So they are prone to having
but we don't want to say that to sideline them in a way. But we are saying that it's also a condition that men face. And that condition, once you have it and your estrogen levels are higher, you are more susceptible. But every man is at risk.
Mr. Osei, in your healthcare facility, do you think some of your colleagues overlook, testing men for breast cancer because they are rare? Like, hardly would you find a man, having breast cancer?
Personally, I have nursed at least 2 men.
Okay.
One was a pastor from my hometown. I don't want to mention anyone. So I was so much concerned. I realized that a lot of people were visiting this man. So I was curious to find out who that man was. Or you're also full. Also for now when you're breast cancer. That was my first time of seeing it. So I told you that this unit, our department, the breast cancer is at the 2nd floor. Yeah. And because I was at the 3rd floor, I didn't know how come the man ended up in my ward. Because when we are on duty and then if any case comes at all, we admit and we try to take care of the patient. So when I got closer to the man, he told me that he has had it, and then because he's a man of God, he didn't believe it. So he had to fast, pray, and use anointing oil and other things on it before. Upon he realizing that it was not working for him,
that was when he came.
He came to the hospital. And unfortunately, we lost him.
Oh.
We lost him. I don't think most of my people may even know what was really the cause, because he had covered it, and then it was foul smelling. We didn't even know what was the cause of it.
That even leads me to my next question. That don't you think people overly spiritualize breast cancer? Say, I can't have breast cancer. I'm a child of God. I believe in. I pay my tithes.
So, as the Bible said, we should give Caesar to what is Caesar's. And then, as she said, she was not even prone to any of the risk. At age 35, why would she get breast cancer? She had given birth and breastfed about 5 children already. She had her menses not early. In fact, there was nothing about her that would show that she may be at risk. She said she didn't have relatives or parents or even generational relatives who had the cancer. So how come she got it? Cancer or some of the conditions we are talking about now is no respecter of person. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't show that you are a man of God, you are well educated, because we've seen people rise and fall. Big men, big women in quotes, those who are very rich, those who are very poor. It will not respect who you are. So the way people over spiritualize it and think that it is because somebody might have caused you, maybe you did something wrong to a person, the person cursed you, or because your parents have done something wrong, then as a result you are going to get the outcome of it. That is not it. Cancer is just cancer. Once you are a human, once you are a woman, once you are a man, it will affect you.
I'm talking about cancer and spirituality, and I was faced with something like that because during the time that I realized the lamp, I was in a 40 days fast.
Hey!
Yes, I wanted to, earlier that year I had gone through a divorce. So I was telling God what should be the next phase of my life, the ministry He's given to me. So I was torn between just concentrating on the fast and trusting God for healing, or also going the way of medicine. But one thing that one thought that I had in mind, I knew that God gave me that thought because it says that God is revealed in science. God gives man wisdom to come up with drugs to cure diseases. So it is me that if you are accepting treatment, you are also accepting me, and that is your faith. Because in Habakkuk 2:3, they say the just shall live by his faith.
Thank you.
So at that point, even as I was praying and trusting God, God gave me that scenario, and I had to put my faith and the medicine together. So this watchword helped me. Faith and science work together.
Exactly.
And that is how
it's unfortunate our time is up. I really had a lot to ask you, but Mr. Osei, let's look at some lifestyle, choices, behaviors we can exhibit so that we do not get breast cancer.
Okay, first of all, what we are supposed to do, we should take our health seriously. We should be concerned about our lives because our own life matters. Most of the times, even as health workers, we try to care for others and neglect or forget ourselves. So who watches the watchman?
Exactly.
That's the question that I want to ask. So first of all, we have to know ourselves very well, especially the women. I was telling my student I met last week that some ladies are there. They don't even know that one breast is bigger than the other.
Oh.
They may not even identify any change that even comes to them slightly. So first of all, we should know ourselves and know who we are. We should know the genetic makeup of our body.
Do you have some specific foods we can eat and not eat to avoid breast? Madam Elsie, would you like to touch on that?
So when we come to, what you're asking is about the lifestyle changes.
Yeah, things we can do, our day-to-day activities.
So diet plays a major role. And when I talk diet, it's not about calorie counting, looking for canned food, looking for this food. It's about eating healthy, eating fruit and vegetables, rest, water, and everything. So having not being obese is also a good thing. Then smoking and drinking should also be minimum. And breastfeeding. Let us breastfeed our babies.
Not only the babies, give it to the men too. Thank you so much, Mr. No, let me start with Madam Elsie.
Okay.
So, Madam Elsie, I'm looking for your saying.
So, Elsie Salina.
Yeah, Elsie Salina is a nurse and breast cancer survivor. She's also an advocate for Medcare, and also Mr. Osei Emmanuel Kofi is a senior nursing officer at Kolebu Teaching Hospital Surgical Department. They were my guests for today. I'm very sorry that I couldn't read your comments. I have seen all the comments and questions. I couldn't read them. We are very, very sorry. Let's take this birthday from me to Carl. Can I have it displayed? Okay, so a special birthday from me to Carl. Happy birthday, my dearest Carl, Ghana's finest MC. May your day be filled with laughter, cake, and unforgettable adventures. Cheers to another fabulous year. Thank you so much for bringing in your birthday messages and your comments as well. This is how we wrap up on today's Koko Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abna Adede. See you same time next week, Tuesday. Bye-bye.